the members to be able to consider. This is a bill that seeks to amend the County Assembly Services Act number 24 of 2017 to clarify on the procedure for removal of a member of the County Assembly Service Board. At the entrance and along the aisle into the National Assembly chambers, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Gladys Boss, has stepped into the chamber to preside over this afternoon sitting. Allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast brought to you by PBU in partnership with KBC. Good afternoon.
Honorable members, let us for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our charge. Amen. Sergeant at Arms, you can ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
So the prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, the House is yet to correct. So let's continue to take a look at the business that the House, as it convenes for this Wednesday's afternoon plenary sitting, shall be transacting. The County Assembly Services Amendment Bill is scheduled for a second reading at this afternoon's sitting. During this afternoon's sitting, it is a bill that seeks to amend the County Assembly Services Act number 24 of 2017 to clarify on the procedure for removal of a member of the County Assembly Service Board. And also the bill proposes to provide for a procedure for the suspension of a clerk of the County Assembly, taking into account principles of fair administrative action. So this is a bill that the members shall be able to consider. Also, the chairperson, the inquiry on the allegations or into the allegations against the member for Bumula and the chairperson of Public Investments Committee on Governance and Education, Honorable Jack Wamboka. That particular motion regarding the inquiry on the allegations against the honorable member in a report that was laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 9th June 2026. It's coming up for consideration, a motion that will be moved by the chairperson, Committee of Powers and Privileges, Honorable Samuel Chepkonga. And in this particular report that the committee laid on the table of the House, urging the House to adopt that particular report, there are considerations that the honorable, or rather that the committee considered, indicating that it held a total of 8 meetings and took evidence from the concerned persons of this particular matter or issue. That is the Reverend Samuel Kobia, the a former chairperson of NCIC. And in its findings, the report of the inquiry committee indicated that key findings of the committee was that the harassment of commissioners and staff appearing before the Public Investments Committee on Governance and Education and treating them with hostility and in a demeaning manner was fully substantiated, and therefore find that conduct of the honorable member was in breach of a privilege. I have just seen that the sergeant has raised that white paper indicating that the quorum has been attained. So we're just waiting for the Speaker to call the House to order for the business to commence. However, that particular report, the consideration of this report is coming up in a few. I would want
Sergeant
now to
Adams, you may stop the
hand you
bell.
over to the business of this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 1st July 2022, in the afternoon, 2026, the afternoon sitting. A, the 9th annual report on the treaty ratified by Kenya for the financial year 2025-2026 from the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. B, reports of the Auditor General financial statements for the years ended 30th June 2021, 30th June 2022, 30th June 2023, 30th June 2024, 30th June 2025, and the certificates therein in respect of the following schools: John Osogo Secondary, Kagumo Secondary, Kiheo Secondary, Kiini High, Leshau Boys High, Mawingo Secondary, Maruaki Boys Secondary, Mwijabu Secondary, St. Mary's Mbaranga Secondary Nyandarua, and St. Paul Busende Secondary Busia. Honorable Speaker, I lay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Trade.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 1st July 2026. Report on the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives on its consideration of the Street Vendors Bill, Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bill number 41 of 2023. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay.
Thank you, Chairperson, Committee on National Cohesion. Chairperson Cohesion is not here. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Chairperson Departmental Committee of Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Affairs. Normally Honorable Russell holds brief, but can't see them. Okay, we'll defer it until later. Then we move to order number 6. Next order.
Yes, I approved my paper lay.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you.
So yeah, it was approved late, but
Yeah,
you may proceed. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 1st July 2026.
10th report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on the consideration of audited financial statements for the following state corporations. 1. National Youth Service for the financial years 2019-2020 to 2024-2025. 2. National Syndemic Diseases Control Council for the financial year 2024-25. 3. Child Welfare Society of Kenya for the financial year 2024-25. 4. Public Benefit Organization Regulatory Authority for the financial year 2024-25. 5. Communications Authority of Kenya for the financial year 2024-25. 6. Kenya Medical Supplies Authority for the financial year 2022-23. And 7. Agricultural Finance Corporation for the financial years 2012-2013 to 2018-2019. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. I think we'll come back to the others if they do come back. And I know there is also a pending communication from the chair. But meanwhile, we can proceed to the next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
That I think also will be deferred because the chairperson, Defense and Intelligence and Foreign Affairs is not here. And the next one, the chairperson, National Cohesion, are not here. So we can move to the... Yours, you're ready to move. Yes, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion that this House adopts the 10th report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its examination of audited financial statements for the following state corporations laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 1st July 2026. 1. National Youth Service for the financial year 2019-2020, 2020-2021, 2021-2022, 2022-2023, 2023-2024, and 2024-2025. 2. National Syndemic Diseases Control Council for the financial year 2024-2025. 3. Child Welfare Society of Kenya for the financial year 2024-2025. 4. Public Benefit Organizations Regulatory Authority for the financial year 2024-2025. 5. Communications Authority of Kenya for the financial year 2024-2025. 6. Kenya Medical Supplies Authority for the financial year 2022-2023. And 7. Agricultural Finance Corporation for the financial years 2012-2013, 2013-2014, 2014-2015, 2015-2016, 2016-2017, 2017-2018, and 2018-2019. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
From the chairperson for cohesion is here now. You can lay your paper and then give your notice of motion.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 1st July 2026. Report of the Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity on the Peace and Security Engagement in Isiolo County from the 25th to the 27th of March 2026. Honorable Speaker, I give notice of motion on the report of the Peace and Security Engagement in Isiolo County. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion that this House adopts the report of the Committee on National Cohesion and Equal Opportunity on the Peace and Security Engagement in Isiolo County, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 1st July 2026. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
following responses or requests. The first request. Yes, I've seen it here. Here it is. Member for West Mogorango, Honorable Stephen Mugaka. If the member is not there, okay, that member is not there. Let's skip to the next one. Member for Machakos County. Okay, allow you to catch your breath. The next one is the member for Manyatta, Honorable Mukunji.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I raised requests for a statement regarding status of leather industry in the country. Honourable Speaker, pursuant to provision of Standing Orders 44(2)(c), I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry, Cooperatives regarding the status of leather industry in the country. Honourable Speaker, the leather industry is a priority sector for national economic development due to its immense potential for value addition, job creation, and export growth, as underscored in Vision 2030 and various national industrialization strategies, such as introduction of Kenya Leather Industrial Park. Despite its potential, Honourable Speaker, the sector continues to face numerous challenges, including the illegal export and misclassification of hinds and skins, particularly the export of ground dry hinds disguised as semi-processed products. Honourable Speaker, high export duties on raw hides and skins, previously set at 80% and subsequently reduced to 50%, were intended to discourage raw exports, but have instead encouraged smuggling and under-declaration. These practices deny the country critical revenue and discourage investment in domestic leather processing and manufacturing. As a result, the leather processors in the country continue to operate below capacity, relying on inconsistent and often poor quality inputs, leading to closure of local leather industries. Notably, Honourable Speaker, the number of leather factories have dropped from 19 factories in 2019 to only 6 as of 2025. Honourable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives on the following. 1, a report on the current status of the leather industry in the country, providing inter alia and impact analysis of the reduction of export duty from 80% to 50%. 2, Honourable Speaker, the implementation status of the Kenya Leather Industrial Park program. And 3, Honourable Speaker, measures that the government is taking to unlock the untapped potential of the leather industry. I thank you, Honourable Speaker, and Honourable Speaker, I beg for a response from the committee. Thank you.
Committee on Trade, who is representing the Committee on Trade? Yes, you can tell. How long will it take?
Madam Speaker, I will give back the answer immediately we come from recess, the first week as we come from recess.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have a member for Manyora, Edwin Mugo. Give Honorable Mugo the mic.
Yeah, Honourable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44(2)(c), I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on transport and infrastructure regarding the deteriorating state of Thika Superhighway. Honorable Speaker, Thika Superhighway, also known as Thika Road, is an A1 international road which links the capital city of Nairobi to the central, eastern, and northern regions of the country. It also connects Namaga town at the Tanzania-Kenya border to the Kenya-Ethiopia border town of Moyale. However, over the years, the road section between Gara to Keno town in Murang'a County has significantly deteriorated and is now characterized by numerous potholes and worn-out surfaces. The poor condition of the road poses a safety risk to motorists and other road users, while also causing frequent traffic disruptions and delays in the movement of people and goods. Honorable Speaker, there are also several sections of the superhighway which lack functional street lighting, notably along Drive-In, Roysabu, Kahawa Wendani, Kahawa Sukari, Juja, and parts of Thika. The lack of street lighting in these areas has led to an increase of insecurity in the areas and likelihood of road accidents, especially at night. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1. A report of the maintenance and rehabilitation plans put in place by the Ministry of Roads and Transport for the Thika Superhighway, particularly the stretch from Gara to Keno in Murang'a County. 2. The reasons for delay in repairing potholes and other damaged sections of the Thika Superhighway and measures being undertaken to address the deterioration so as to enhance road safety. And finally, 3. The timelines within which the government intends to complete the necessary repairs and rehabilitation works to ensure that it is in motorable condition. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, thank you. Chairperson, Transport and Infrastructure. A member of the committee. Yes. Can you undertake on behalf of
Chair,
the
the question is very valid.
We promised to give him the answer first week immediately after the recess.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable members, allow me to recognize the following schools. Seated in the Speaker's Gallery is St. Gregory Kipkabos School from Keyo South Constituency, Elgeyo Marakwet County. I think the Sergeant at Arms haven't informed the students. You're supposed to rise when you're recognized. I'll repeat myself. I wish to recognize St. Gregory Kipkabos School. Or is that not Kipkabos School? Oh, they are on this side. Okay, good. And seated in the public gallery, I wish to recognize Kiamuruga Secondary School from Kirinyaga Central Constituency, Kirinyaga County. Good, thank you. I also wish to recognize Githinji Secondary School from Kinangop Constituency, Laikipia County. On behalf of the substantive speaker, myself and members of parliament, we welcome you to parliament. Thank you. Okay, let's proceed. I saw that a member for West Mugirango has arrived. Yes. You're ready to make your statement?
I am. Thank you.
Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to make a request for a statement regarding recurrent fire incidents in schools within my constituency, West Mugirango. Madam Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44 2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the recurrent fire incidents in schools within my constituency, West Mugirango. Madam Speaker, in the recent past, the country has witnessed a disturbing trend of fire outbreaks in learning institutions, resulting in loss of lives, destruction of property, and disruption of learning. Within West Mugirango constituency, where I am privileged to be MP, several schools have recently experienced fire incidents, raising concerns on disaster preparedness in schools. For instance, on 20th June, Madam Speaker, 20th June 2026, a fire broke out at Kibirigo Boys High School, which is a national school, destroying part of the boarding facilities. Although no fatalities were registered, the incident led to the closure of the school, thereby disrupting learning. Similarly, on 8 June 2026, a fire broke out at Kura Senior School in Bosamaru Ward. Further, Madam Speaker, on 3rd June 2026, a fire razed down a dormitory at Masosa Mixed Secondary School in Nyamaya Ward, destroying property and the school infrastructure. These unfortunate incidents have exposed learners to danger, disrupting academic programs, and occasioned substantial loss of public resources. They have also raised concern regarding compliance with safety standards and disaster preparedness measures in our learning institutions. Madam Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1. A report on the circumstances surrounding the fire incidents at Kibirigo High School, Kura Senior School, and Masosa Mixed Secondary School, including the findings of any investigations thereon. Number 2, measures taken by the Ministry of Education to facilitate restoration of learning and repairs to the damaged infrastructure in the affected schools. Number 3, the steps being taken to ensure all schools comply with prescribed safety standards, particularly in dormitories and other boarding facilities, including proof of insurance against fire and other disasters. And finally, Madam Speaker, the long-term measures in place to strengthen disaster preparedness, fire prevention, and emergency response mechanisms, and prevent recurrent of fire incidents in schools across the country. I thank you, Madam Speaker, and do plead that the Ministry of Education rises to the occasion and restores the infrastructure that the students have lost.
Honourable members, I see a few members intending to ride on this. I don't see the chair of Education Committee. We were still missing him in the morning. Vice Chair? Any member? I see a few members. Kindly take note. Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on this issue. And I want to thank a member for West Mugirango for at least raising this issue again, because it seems like every time we have fire incidents, as soon as the matter and the hue and cry is over, everybody goes back to business as usual, and we don't keep the issue alive. And this has been from more than 20 years ago, and it seems to be getting worse and worse. So it's just not enough for the Education Committee to respond on this. I think the Education Committee, together with the Internal Security Committee, I know should be asking the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Education to appear before the committees to give us first a report on the ongoing investigation, because I think there was a multi-sectoral team that was set up after the fire to Tumishi girls in Gilgil, and so that we can be able to build on that, so that we take one area as a case study. In fact, I tell myself, it's a bit unfortunate that the girls are in the justice system. They should actually be studied, sat with psychiatrists, and find out what could possess someone so young to do something so heinous. Because then that way, if we understand the way their brain works, or what the challenges were, or what occasioned them to reach to the point that they could get to do something like that, then we can then work on our other children in other schools. But if we do sporadic checks and sporadic quick fixes about the issue, we don't get to the bottom of it. Because what is being done, and because it's the same in every school, so that we divide the issues and say, this was caused by the students. So we study what drives the students to that point. Then we look at the ones that are caused maybe by power failure or accidents, or maybe within the school. Then we know, what do we do to prevent those accidents? If it is about putting safety measures and fire drills and so on, we separate that as an issue. So I think this is something that is important, and we would be asking the Education Committee, just don't look at the cases in West Mugirango, just call the cabinet secretaries to come and explain how far are they with the investigations and where has it gotten to this stage, so we get to the root cause, because right now we are dealing with symptoms, but not the root cause of the issue. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I very well agree with you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and as the member representing Utumishi, I know we had a lot of these issues when the issue was hot. I agree, sometimes we just react and then let it die off, because we still don't know exactly what did the multisectoral team come up with. And I know I'll indulge a few more members on this because it's a national issue. But I think the Committee on Education should take note. The issues of even looking at the law, we must look at the Basic Education Act, what is missing, are the regulations covering the issues that are being raised by members. It will be very important to have a holistic view and review of these questions. Honourable Member for Bomet East.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for also giving me this opportunity to contribute on this weighty matter. Madam Speaker, I've been also thinking very widely about these incidents whereby students are going on the rampage and burning schools and dormitories. And I would have also wanted to contribute like this, Madam Speaker. There is, from the time we stopped this issue of caning students, this is when we started having this problem. And the case of caning students needs to come up again, Madam Speaker, because I think during our time, we used to be disciplined very well, and that is why most of us are here coming up to this time where we are very disciplined. The indiscipline has been caused very majorly also in the sense that our parents are not taking very seriously the issues of trying to guide the students by making sure that at least they become disciplined in school, and also respecting the teachers. Teachers have been left alone to manage the students. And this is something which we need to build and make sure that we come together with the teachers, talk to the students, and make sure that the discipline come back to our students.
Honourable members, let us also realize it's no debate. It is a request for statement. If you get some time, you do 30 seconds if you want to ride on it. Maungu.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me just end it at that, and this is something which I'm urging that we have to have the Ken come back. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Maungu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to also put in my thoughts on this matter. First, to appreciate Mheshimiwa for having brought in this matter, Madam Speaker, because as you are aware, school fires have caused a lot of distress amongst our people and our communities. And the recent one being at your place, Madam Speaker, where we even saw videos circulating, young souls having the audacity to touch a building where their colleagues are sleeping. Madam Speaker, as the Education Committee moves in to come up with a report of the same, we had the Andarasha fire just before that, Madam Speaker, and many other similar fires that have engulfed our schools, and we've lost very young lives. But as the Honorable Deputy Speaker said, would wish to go further and see what is it that has come into our kids. Is it an issue of parental guidance and responsibility that has failed? Because looking at the clips and the videos, it was very inhuman to see very young souls, the age of their teens, touching a dormitory or touching a school when others are sleeping, Madam Speaker. So I think as the Education Committee moves in to respond to this, we shall be keen to find what futuristic strategies are they providing to ensure that such are not anymore, Madam Speaker. And therefore also to call upon our parents. I think we've reached a time where we as parents have somehow abdicated our roles to that of the teacher. It's not the duty of the teacher, for example, to take care of these kids, but we as parents should ensure that we instill in the right values, we instill in the right morals in these kids, Madam Speaker, so that even when they go to schools, they should realize that life is such an important and precious opportunity to live. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes. Let's have Honorable Sam, then I'll come to you, then I'll Kunji, and yes.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mimi kwa ufupi tu pia niweze kusema watoto wengi wamekuwa sasa ni kama itikadi. Kila ikifika wakati wa karibu na mtihani, unapata watoto wanachoma shule na wanaua mpaka wenzao. Kama juzi nimpe pole Mheshimiwa Martha, kule kwake alipata mtihani mkubwa sana, wakaweza kupoteza watoto 16, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka niseme ni wakati ambapo iangaliwe kwa kina kuwa shida ni nini. Isiwe kuwa wazazi tumeachia tu walimu watoto kutulelea. Yaani mtoto akija nyumbani yeye anakaa na simu, anaangalia vitu vya kipuzi, akienda shuleni basi inakuwa hata mwalimu pia kuweza kumcontrol yule mtoto pia ni ngumu. Na pia ingekuwa kama tunaweza kupendekeza sana watoto wetu wengi wao wakisoma katika shule, sio shule ya mabweni, shule ya kwenda na kurudi nyumbani, ili tuweze kuangalia hao watoto wetu wanakaa vipi, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo hii statement ambayo mwenzetu ametoa ni statement ambayo ni muhimu sana katika taifa hili. Na utapata wakianza shule hii, hata baada kuwa wameona wenzao wamechukuliwa hatua kali, bado watoto wengine wanazidi tu kuchoma. Kwa hiyo kuna kitu ambao kinaendelea na ni kitu kibaya sana ambacho kwamba kinahitaji uchunguzi wa kina, ili tuangalie mashule watoto wetu wakienda watakuwa salama ama watakuwa vipi. Na mzazi, kama mtoto wako ana tabia kama wale, usilie kuwa mtoto kwa nini anafungwa, manake pale alipofungwa ndo mahali ambapo anastahili ili wefunzo kwa wenzake. Kuna watoto wawili vijana waliweza pia kuchomewa kwa dormitory ambao walikuwa ni prefect. Nafikiri walikuwa watoto 4 prefect. Wakachomewa, wakafungiwa kule, wakachoma, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na wanafunzi wako hapa. Wazazi wenu wamehangaika kwenda kutafuta school fees kuwasomesha. Wanahangaika, msiende shule mkageuka kuwa kama mashetani. Nyinyi ni watoto ambao inafaa muabudu na Mungu, muombe na Mungu na msikize wazazi wenu na walimu wenu, kwa sababu mzazi akitoa kile kidogo anajitolelea kuuza sambusa maamri ya kusomeshe, ni kwa sababu anakutakia maisha mazuri. Usiende kule ukageuka kuwa mtoto mbaya. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to join colleagues in appreciating this request for a statement. I think where we are, Honorable Speaker, we need to be very, very careful the way we handle this statement. You know, Honorable Speaker, we have quite a number of stakeholders in this matter. And I think what we need to do is critically look at what is the role of each stakeholder. We have the ministry, we have the parents, we have the students, we have the teachers. And after looking critically at what is the role of each stakeholder, Honorable Speaker, be able to document what each stakeholder should do and come up with an enforcement mechanism. Because I see a lot of gaps in a lot of these stakeholders, Honorable Speaker. And if we get it right at that point, Honorable Speaker, we'll be able to stop this matter, this issue, because it's not the first time it has happened in the past. Reports have been prepared, Honorable Speaker. Enforcement has been very poor. I think we need really to stop it because it involves loss of life. And I think it's very, very important as a House, we take this statement very serious, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Manyata.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I also rise to support this statement by the Member of Parliament for Mogirango, Honorable Speaker. I also take this opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to welcome members, the young kids who are in this House. And, Honorable Speaker, this issue must take a little bit keen interest, Honorable, by this House. Because, Honorable Speaker, when we talk about fires and disasters in schools, we cannot say there are no accidents. But, Honorable Speaker, our preparedness in terms of disaster, especially in our schools, Honorable Speaker, is in question. And, Honorable Speaker, when the fire that engulfed Utumishi Academy, Honorable Speaker, happened, I remember us taking a minute of silence to remember those young kids. But, Honorable Speaker, I want to appeal to this House to consider one thing. Honorable Speaker, whenever we don't give enough capitation in schools, and, Honorable Speaker, when capitation is given per term. But when the term is over, Honorable Speaker, and there is a disbursement in the next term, the ministry will always give money like it is starting to give the capitation of that term without considering the pending capitation. Also, I appeal to this House to see how it can actually consider unsubmitted capitation for schools as a pending bill when the year ends. So, we don't burden our principals. They need to prepare for major disasters such as fires. And, Honorable Speaker, simple things such as electric installations in schools is a problem because principals have borrowed money. They have not been able to actually pay simple people such as watchmen who can see culprits and kids who are misbehaving. And I appeal to this House to consider. We do give a good budget to schools. But, Honorable Speaker, you find by the time the year ends, it is normally not even more than 80% that has been submitted. I appeal to this House to be considering capitation that has not been given to schools as a pending bill so that, Honorable Speaker, schools don't run in debt. Some schools have water debts of more than 5 years, Honorable Speaker. Okay. Some have electric debts that Kenya Power always threaten them, and they have to appeal to leaders like me and you and others to actually request Kenya Power not to disconnect electricity. I think, Honorable Speaker, that is actually the best we can do. And also consider putting a specific amount for disaster preparedness in our schools. And, Honorable Speaker, that can really help this. As I also appeal to kids to always behave, it is good to always look at discipline, but parents have also an opportunity to engage their kids in better way. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
We need to make it a bit brief. Honorable Member for Moiben, I'll let you go last because you're the one you're in the Education Committee. But let me give Honorable Martha Wangare first.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. And Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Honorable Member for West Mugirango for bringing this issue on the floor of the House. And as the latest victim of these fires in Gilgil, Madam Speaker, and I want to appreciate yourself and other members who took time to come to Tumishi and to visit those families that were affected, it brought out some issues that we still haven't dealt with. The issue of CCTVs in schools, which is supposedly supposed to be monitored throughout, the issue of safety, and Madam Speaker, it also brought out the issue of discipline of children. Madam Speaker, we may not want to talk about it, but we need to. The Basic Education Act, Honorable Yegon has talked about bringing back the cane. I'm not sure whether that will sort it out, but we need to deal with consequences in terms of discipline in school. By the time Utumishi girls was being banned, Madam Speaker, there was a talk that they wanted to go home like a school in the neighborhood, which I will not mention, that wanted to go, that had tried to ban and actually had closed school for some time. And you know how, Madam Speaker, that school had tried to ban the dormitory? They are very daring, Madam Speaker. Some kids went to the kitchen, took some burning charcoal, put in a geometrical set, and put it in their pocket. And they actually succeeded to ensure that they go home. So we are dealing with children that are also very daring in terms of they know there will be no consequence at the end of the day. So, Madam Speaker, the other issue we must deal with in the Basic Education Act is even if we do not reintroduce caning, is it time we review what we went through ourselves, that you know, if you are a ringleader to ban a school, you must get consequences. You're either suspended or you are actually expelled from school, Madam Speaker, because we have put teachers also in a very bad position because they don't know what they are going to do with errant students. Because we have parents that come, including in Utumishi, Madam Speaker, and come and lecture the teacher when the child is watching. So we have also become a whole society that we are not getting results because we are part of the problem. So I think actually, Madam Speaker, if you ask me, this issue of discipline in school calls for a national dialogue. It calls for what we had during Bomas with NADCO. If we seriously want to ring-fence our community in the next 10, 20 years, Madam Speaker, as a country, we must prioritize it. It is not just Ministry of Education. We must have the Parents Association. We must have the teachers' representation. Let us have a national conversation that is led by this House, Madam Speaker, to get a way forward, because this only will not do it. But Madam Speaker, I hope that we can get also the CS to come to this floor to answer some of these problems that we are dealing with. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. I think I'll give the member for the Education Committee, Professor Barto.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. And I think the Committee of Education is taking this matter of banning of schools very seriously. And we are doing a very comprehensive report, and very soon we are going to present it in Parliament. And Madam Speaker, on top of that, behavior in our schools has become an issue, and whatever the students are doing is a characteristic of what is happening in society. I mean, the moral fabric of society is destroyed, and whatever the students are doing is a replica of what is happening in society. For example, we have leaders hurling insults at each other in front of young people. We have leaders hiring and paying goons to fight each other in public rallies. What do you expect young people to be doing? So I think we need to look at it very seriously and start from the parents and every other member of society, because our young people are just a replica of ourselves. They do what we do best. So it's high time we relook at everything, including the Education Act. We look at even the population of the students per school. Why would one school have 4,000 students and another one has no student, and the infrastructure is the same? So I think there are so many. It must be looked at it from a multifaceted approach so that we sort this problem once and for all. But I can assure you the Education Committee is giving it the seriousness it deserves. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay. Thank you, honorable members. I think now this was just a statement because it's a matter of national importance. That's why we gave members to comment on it. and we won't be able to get to the other order of business if we don't move on. So right now, I'd like to give, we're getting a statement from the Honorable Member for Machakos. You can go to your statement.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I request for a statement regarding a work injury compensation claim against Outer Springs East Africa, PLC. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Labor regarding work injury compensation claim against Outer Springs East Africa, PLC. Honorable Speaker, on 14th October 2014, Mr. Anthony Chalo Mwetu of ID number 28XXX sustained an injury to his right wrist joint while in the course of employment with Outer Spring East Africa, PLC, formerly trading as Outer Spring Manufacturers Limited, then based in Athi River, Machakos County. Following the injury, he maintained in employment until 2018, when his contract was terminated. He has, however, never been compensated for the workplace injury, a situation that has left him facing financial hardship and unable to fully engage in gainful economic activity to support his household. Honorable Speaker, in a pursuant for compensation, Mr. Anthony Chalo initiated civil suit number 6 of 2015 at the Mavoko Magistrate Court and also reported the matter to the Labor Office. Regrettably, these efforts have been frustrated as the former employer or their agents have repeatedly failed to appear before the court, thereby delaying the determination of the matter and his access to rightful compensation. It is a fundamental obligation for every employer to ensure the safety of their employees by taking all reasonable precautions in the workplace. Where an employee fails in this duty and an employee suffers injury in the course of employment, the employer is under a legal and moral obligation to ensure compensation for the injury due to negligence, breach of statutory duty, or violation of the duty of care owed to the employee. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Labor on the following. Steps taken by the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection to ensure Mr. Anthony Chalo Mwetu is compensated for the injury he suffered, and actions taken against his former employer for negligence and breach of statutory duty in accordance with the provision of the labor laws on workplace safety. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I saw the chairperson of the Labor Committee, chair of the Committee on Labor. Oh, it's Chonge who's the chair. Okay. Someone can give an undertaking on behalf of that committee? Okay, Majority Leader.
I suppose that is to the Committee for Labor, and I will diligently inform the Honorable Ken Chonga to bring a response immediately, we resume after the recess. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
All right, thank you. Next, we have the statement by the Honorable Member for Narok North. But before that, allow me to recognize the following schools. Yard DEB Primary School, from Laikipia East Constituency, Laikipia County, and Mugenka Primary and JSS School from Chukai Igambangombe, from constituency Tharaka Nithi County. They are seated in the public gallery. Honorable Member for Narok North, you can welcome them before you make your statement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to welcome the students from Laikipia. And I just want to wish them well, them and the teachers who accompanied them, and just tell them that they are now in Parliament, 13th Parliament, and what they see here is what will happen to them when they are serious in their education. And I wish them all the best and a safe journey back home. Thank you. Madam Speaker, Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the security situation at Rose Farm, bordering Olokuto location in Narok North constituency. Honorable Speaker, Rose Farm, bordering Olokuto location in Narok North constituency, has in the recent days experienced heightened tension and insecurity alleged to be arising from a dispute over the ownership and occupation of the farm. The incident has raised serious concerns regarding the steps taken to identify and address the underlying causes of the conflicts and the adequacy of the government's response. The situation has escalated into violence, confrontations, creating widespread fear and uncertainty among residents. The unrest has also forced many families, particularly women, children, and the elderly, to flee their homes in search of safety. Learning has also been disrupted, with pupils unable to attend school due to the fears for their security. Honorable Speaker, there are also disturbing allegations that police officers deployed to restore law and order used excessive force in responding to the situation, despite the absence of weapons among the area residents. While security agencies have a duty to protect lives and property and maintain public order, the conduct of the law enforcement officers must at all times be guided by the Constitution, the law and internationally accepted standards on the use of force. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. The circumstances that led to the current insecurity and violence at Rose Farm, bordering Olokuto, Narok North constituency, including a record of the legal ownership of the farm and the history of the dispute. Measures currently in place to restore law and order, protect residents, and provide humanitarian assistance. The reasons for the alleged use of excessive force by police officers during the operations, and the steps being taken to ensure that policing is undertaken in accordance with the law. And a long-term intervention that the government has put in place to permanently resolve the dispute, hold those responsible for the violence and distractions accountable, and guarantee lasting peace and security in Rose Farm and the surrounding areas. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. That's going to the Committee on Administration and Internal Security. Do they have a member present to undertake? No. Majority Leader?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Chair of Administration and Internal Security, I would like to ask that we give the response the first week after resuming from the recess. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Now we can go to responses. There is one request for a statement by the Honorable Member for Taita Taveta County. Social Protection, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Lydia Haika, MP for the Women Representative for Taita Taveta County on 24th of February 2026 requested for a statement on the floor of the House regarding the delay in the registration of order persons under the Inua Jamii Order Person Cash Transfer Program. The Honorable Member further requested for information on the measure put in place by the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection to ensure that the older persons who have attained the age of 70 and above are registered in a timely manner. Honorable Speaker, the State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizen Affairs is responsible for implementing the Inua Jamii Older Person Cash Transfer Program, OPCT. The program targets older persons who are 70 years and above and who are not in any government pension program. The Inua Jamii program currently covers 1,141,181 beneficiaries, with each beneficiary receiving 2,000 monthly through the eCitizen M-Pesa platform. Honorable Speaker, the last time the State Department undertook registration of new beneficiaries in the program was in 2023 following a directive by His Excellency the President to expand the program by registering 50,000 new beneficiaries. Honorable Speaker, the delay in registering and enrolling new beneficiaries into the program has been occasioned by the lack of additional budgetary allocation from the National Treasury to cater for the additional beneficiary. Honorable Speaker, the Older Person Cash Transfer Program is facing a budget shortfall of 5.2 billion to cover cash transfer for in-post beneficiary up to the end of just concluded financial year. Honorable Speaker, in light of the foregoing, the Department requests for additional allocation to cover the shortfall as well as register new beneficiary in the program. Honorable Speaker, I submit. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Taita Taveta, are you satisfied?
Thank you, Speaker. Madam Speaker, clearly I'm not satisfied with the answer. I appreciate the feedback, though, by the Committee of Social Protection, led by Honorable Alice Nganga. But, Madam Speaker, clearly you can see, because Inua Jamii is a national, it's a program. And this program, Madam Speaker, is meant to cater for all the elderly people above 70 years old, not a few. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, when I hear that there are some who are receiving money, the stipend, and some are not, and the answer that have been given by the committee is not satisfactory at all. What I can say is that we need to work on a mechanism such that as we have promised them, as the government promised, that every elderly person who has attained that age of 70 years and above should receive that stipend, then yes, they should receive. And on the same note, I want also to appreciate that previously, these elderly people used to walk to many towns or cities to go and receive the stipend. But at the moment, those who are receiving the money straight to their mobile phones. So with that one, I want to applaud the government, but I want to say that it is high time that they update the register again so that it can capture all the elderly persons in Kenya who have attained that age of 70 years and above. I thank you.
Honorable Wangare, what do you...
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for indulging me. Honorable Speaker, this issue is a recurrent issue in this House. And Madam Speaker, we have spoken about the periodic updating of this register. These issues are everywhere, even in Gilgil. You get 70-year-olds who are not in the system. Some were bumped out, I don't know what reason. Madam Speaker, the cleaning, even the ones who unfortunately die, should be replaced immediately, Madam Speaker, so that we don't have this issue recurring every time that we are talking about it. And finally, the issue of the orphaned and vulnerable children, specifically the issue of persons with disability. There is a problem, like I would say in my constituency, Madam Speaker, where you are told that this location has a quota. If someone is disabled, Madam Speaker, if, like I know one mother in Shokereria in Gilgil, who has 3 disabled children, cannot work, but you're told only one will be eligible for this money, what do you do with the other 2? It should be automatic, Madam Speaker. If you have a person or a child with disability that should get this money, should be universal. The issue of quotas should not apply, because you do not apply to have a child living with disability. So maybe we can have the chair also respond to some of these issues.
Yeah. So, Chairperson, I think you've heard what other questions members have raised, so that you can raise it to the relevant ministry. Or I don't know if you want to respond before we proceed.
Okay, Honorable Speaker, I'll talk to the ministry, but I can tell you the bottom line is we don't have enough cash. If we had enough cash, we would register as many as they are. But right now, there is no need of registering them, and yet they will not be receiving their money at the end of the month. So immediately we get the budget, they will look into this issue, but the ministry can answer further.
Okay, thank you. Is the Honorable Member for Samburu County here? Honorable Lengurus? No, she's not, so she can't get her response if she's absent. She forfeits the opportunity. Now we can move to the next order, isn't it? Oh, just table it, yeah. But the chair is not here either. Oh, yes, okay. So you can just just table it. Just table the chair in the House.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, there was a statement which was sought by the Honourable Member for Samburu, the Honourable Pauline Legus.
You're not going over the statement.
Since it's not here, Madam Speaker, allow me to table the response.
Table it here.
I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. What's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I beg your indulgence before we go to the next business. And I know, Honorable Speaker, these statements usually are very many, and you indulge members to speak. But my attention was caught by the statement by the member for Machakos, the Honorable Joyce Kamene, on the work injury compensation claim against Outer Springs, East Africa. Honorable Speaker, I was listening to that statement from my office, and I couldn't help but notice that she did aver that the matter is a matter under litigation in a civil suit that she actually quoted. And I would have wanted your guidance, as much as that matter most likely may have been approved. We operate as Parliament.
I think...
Honorable Speaker, I wanted the member for Laisamis to give you, to allow you to hear what I'm saying.
Okay, actually...
Because as much as this statement may have been approved maybe by the Speaker or from the clerk's desk, but it concerned a matter that the mover of that statement did aver that is under active litigation in court.
Yes, Majority Leader, in fact, actually, you're very right on this point. I've just raised it actually with the table office today, because usually it will come from the table office recommending for the Speaker to approve. So no one expects the Speaker to be the one to do the due diligence. We have teams that are supposed to do that and check. So the teams that normally review it, the legal team, are the ones who should have said this cannot be approved.
Yes, in fact, they should have guided the member from Machakos.
And this is the second one. There's also a second one that came also before my desk, and I've noticed here by Honorable Kalasinga. I had signed it, but only when I read it, then I realized it had been recommended to me by the table office to approve it. Only but when, after approving, I saw OB number, this, that, then you realize it's a matter that is before the court. So I think it has to be, there has to be more vigilance and due diligence done by the legal team that supports the Speaker's office.
In fact, Honorable Speaker, you've just gotten it perfectly right, because I was going to ask that you direct the office, the Director of Legislative Services, to scrutinize some of these statements, because a matter that is in court, and I heard my deputy say he will relate to the Labour Committee, and I wondered what will the Labour Committee do? The Labour Committee cannot direct a plaintiff in a court case to appear in court. The court has all the powers and means of enforcing people to appear in court. Two, the House should not and must never be seen to be litigating matters that are already being litigated in court. Therefore, as much as we may want to be seen to be helping our constituents, we also have a duty and an obligation as leaders to guide our constituents, that if a matter is in court, you cannot then come and prosecute it again in the House. And I think it was an oversight on the part of the person who submitted that statement for approval. And I probably would just have guided that the Honorable Kamene probably relooks into that issue and sees how he can assist that particular citizen from Machakos County, even with the matter in court, because you can assist the citizen otherwise. Otherwise, if we are to begin transacting that matter, and as you heard, is a civil matter between maybe an insurance company, you don't know whether the insurance company had received premiums, whether these auto springs had insurance cover. And I thought even the Director of Legislative Affairs should have guided the Honorable Member to probably reward that statement. And I would plead with Honorable Joyce Kamene to reward the statement to be an inquiry as to whether this auto springs company actually had taken up an insurance cover, not the matter of compensation that is already in court. Because that is a matter that will be mute and redundant in the House. Just my 2 cents, Honorable Speaker.
I think I direct that the table office has to be much more keener in what they approve, because they normally assist the members. Thank you. We can move to the next one. Yes.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for indulgence. And I'm much humbled by your perusal and forwarding. Madam Speaker, to honestly put it clear, this matter is not in court. This matter was just reported in police and it ended there, Madam Speaker. Honestly, the fact, Madam Speaker, that is what it is at its start today.
It's a subject of a criminal investigation.
Madam Speaker, it's not active in any court of law. As the Honorable Majority Leader said, this for my case, the one I'm about to bring forward to this, Madam Speaker, it's not in any court of law, Madam Speaker.
I think you cannot say that. You see, the moment of an OB is filed, it means immediately the investigator should kick in. So what you should be doing is going to the police station to confirm that the matter has proceeded. Yes? Mm-hmm.
Honorable Speaker, you know the Honorable Member, the Honorable Majimbo Kalasinga, the member for Kabuchai, the member who's now famous for Clause 169. of the finance bill that never existed. He has a problem with listening. Because when, Honorable Speaker, I spoke here, I addressed a particular issue, Honorable Speaker.
Let's hear his point of order.
Honorable Speaker, I'm on a point of order.
Okay,
So he should be guided that when I'm on a point of order, you take your seat, relax. You cannot be on a point of order when I'm on a point of order. I finished my point of order.
Sorry, I didn't actually realize on a point of order.
Yes, I was on a point of order. This is not like clause 169. Now I'm talking about serious business of the House. We are not on clause 169 now.
Kalasinga, I will give you an opportunity.
Honorable Speaker, the member has a problem of listening. Because when I rose on a particular statement raised by the member for Machakos, and I was particular on the member for Machakos. I never mentioned the member of clause 169. I mentioned the member member for Machakos County. And I spoke about the issue that was in court. Because Honorable Joyce Kamene, and you can see she appreciates. Because we are here to help each other. And even for you, you should seek guidance from the Speaker. But you don't just stand and say the majority leader said this is a matter that is under. I have not mentioned anything to do with you. And I cannot mention because there is no clause 169 even on this matter.
Yes, and Honorable Kalasinga, I am the one who actually declined to allow your statement after I reviewed it. And I sought concurrence from the table office, and they agreed. Yes, proceed.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you know, I first started by appreciating you for actually ascending to this statement. I'll be accordingly advised by this Parliament, Madam Speaker, as you have just proceeding. In case tomorrow, the following day, it's approved that this matter, which is different from Madam Joyce Kamene's, is not in the active court, Madam. It will come back this floor, Madam Speaker. There's nothing wrong about that. But Madam Speaker, my leader of majority, I demand respect from him. Madam Speaker, when he has continuously mentioned me over that clause 169. And it's clear, Madam Speaker, that I want to put these records clear here. Clear, in front of you, Madam Speaker. On page 966 of the finance bill, Article 1A, clause 31, sub-article 169, talks about Mitumba, Madam Speaker. Why is Kimani Chungwa thinking he's the overall head boy of this house? Madam Speaker, I'm not a young boy in this school here. This is not a school to come here and do that, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I've been irritated to that level. Let him open that finance bill that we completed it. Check page 966.
Okay.
Article 1A, clause 31, number 9.
I will close this issue. Honorable member, we are not discussing the finance bill. You could have just said, I take issue with that reference and let it end there. We don't have to proceed. Let the finance committee speak first.
Thank you for the.
Let's allow his point of order.
Thank you for that moment you've given me, Madam Speaker. Standing from the Committee of Finance, there is something that I need to put straight. When the bill is still as a bill, it does no articles, neither sections. It is clauses. It is clauses or refer to pages. If it has been approved to be the Act of Parliament, it turns out to be sections and not articles. So I wanted to put it on record as a member of Committee of Finance. And in any case, we were dealing with clauses, only it was 57 clauses. Unless the amendments were referring to an existing sections of an existing law. Thank you.
I think, honorable members, we should close this. Okay, your point of order, the last one, let's close this issue.
Honorable Speaker, on standing order 87 on contents of speech, Honorable Speaker, you know, we also have a duty and a responsibility to the people of Kenya to inform them. And because we are elected, for instance, the member for Kabuchai is elected amongst the best of the people of Kabuchai. Amongst the best. And that is how he won his election. Not to say he's the best in Kabuchai, but he's among the best that the people of Kabuchai found. And therefore, the people of Kabuchai, in the villages in Kabuchai, those in Chwele Market, expect that since they have sent one of their best sons to Nairobi to represent them, he will take time, he will read, he will internalize, he will be able to conceptualize what is contained in a bill. Honorable Speaker, it is on record. It is on record when the member for Kabuchai was seated on this seat here, that he quoted clause 169 in the finance bill. Now he is further misleading the House and the people of Kenya that this bill had 966 pages. A bill that had 57 clauses that now had page 966. Honorable Speaker, when we legislate on these bills, as the member for the Finance Committee, the CPA, Ruto has said, that bill had particular clauses with sub-clauses and sections. And when we legislate and when we quote those clauses, we quote clauses. And that is why I was challenging these people, Honorable Speaker, please tell us the clause. Because even in amending, we seek to amend clauses. The member for Kabuchai has gone further to mislead the public again. That there was tax on mitumba when it was not there, and I have challenged them. Show us where. Now he has moved from page clause 169 to page 966. Okay. Next time he will tell us bill number 40 or 56. Read. Don't embarrass the people of Kabuchai. They are very serious scholars in Kabuchai, and we must not allow you to embarrass the people of Kabuchai. You cannot embarrass the people of Kabuchai. Where even our Honorable Speaker, a whole Dr. Masika Wetangula, senior counsel, comes from. Serious leaders. You cannot don't be an embarrassment to the people of Kabuchai.
I'll allow you, member for Kabuchai, and then we finish so that you don't feel like you don't have a right of reply.
Yes, Madam Speaker, we preside over documents on this floor of this House. We debate over tabled documents, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you have in possession, this House, the House you are leading, is in possession of that document in the archive. I want it to be retrieved to this, to put me clear, Madam Speaker. And then we paginate that document. On the left-hand side center of the page, 966, written on it, clause A, item number A, clause at 1, number 169. It is in that document, Madam Speaker. It talks about worn-out clothes and mitumba. Madam Speaker, the Speaker must come out clear. Why is he talking about the clauses, but not the item called mitumba? Honorable Majority Leader knows that the document is there. Madam Speaker, before I leave this, kindly, could that document be produced and I read on the floor of this House? Right away, Madam Speaker.
Okay. I think you can put that request in writing to say that you want to confirm. You can put that request to the Speaker in writing that you'd like to do that. Thank you. Can we move to the next order? Honorable Kamene, is there a problem? Order members. Honorable Kamene, I thought you were satisfied. I thought yours was straightforward. Honorable members, let's proceed to the next. Honorable Kamene.
Order number 8, the Crop Laws Amendments Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Act, Cap 319, the Tea Cap 343, and the Sugar Act number 11 of 2024, and for connected purposes. Order number 9, the Regional Development Authorities Laws Repeal Bill, National Assembly Bill number 31 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to repeal the laws relating to regional development authorities and for connected purposes. Order number 10, the Films and Stage Plays Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 32 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Films and Stage Plays Act. Order number 11, the East African Development Bank Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 33 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the East African Development Bank Act and for connected purposes. Order number 12, the Water Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 34 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Water Act to provide for merger of the Irrigation Authority and the National Water Harvesting and Storage Authority to harmonize the functions of the merged authorities and for connected purposes. Order number 13, the Irrigation Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 35 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Irrigation Act to provide for the merger of the Irrigation Authority and the National Water Harvesting and Storage Authority to harmonize the functions of the merged authorities and for connected purposes. Order number 14, the Investment and Export Promotion Authority Bill, National Assembly Bill number 37 of 2026, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the promotion, coordination and facilitation of investment, exports, and plan and business environment reforms to provide for the establishment of the Kenya Investment and Export Promotion Authority and for connected purposes. Order number 15, motion 8, report on the audited financial statements of 6 state corporations.
Chairperson, Public Investments Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to move that this House adopts the 8th report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its examination of the audited financial statements of the following state corporations, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 12th March 2026. 1. Communications Authority of Kenya for the financial years 2019-2020 to 2023-2024. 2. Kenya Medical Training College for the financial years 2021-22 to 2024-25.
Honorable Kalasinga, order. Honorable Kalasinga, you're out of order. You know what to do. No, you know what to do. Honorable Angwe, continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. 3. Kenya Medical Supplies Authority for the financial years 2019-2020 and 2020-21. 4. Public Benefit Organizations Regulatory Authority for the financial years 2007-08 to 2023-24. 5. Child Welfare Society of Kenya for financial years 2019-2020 to 2023-2024. And 6. Kenyatta University Teaching Referral and Research Hospital for the financial years 2020-21 to 24-25. Honorable Speaker, allow me on the onset to comment that during the processing of this report, Honorable Speaker, my committee relied on a few instruments, being the Constitution of Kenya, Honorable Speaker, the Public Finance Management Act, the Public Audit Act, and, Honorable Speaker, our standing orders read together with the State Corporations Act. Honorable Speaker, there are various issues that were observed during the interrogation of the agencies, and Honorable Speaker, I want to lay bare a few of the issues that we came about that were cross-cutting in the review of these 6 agencies. One of the issues, Honorable Speaker, that came out very clear was the issue to do with lack of possession of ownership documents on land and buildings. Honorable Speaker, most of the agencies, and I want to be very particular, Communication Authority of Kenya did not have the title document for the land that hosts Modika Radio Monitoring Station in Garissa County. And Honorable Speaker, Child Welfare Society of Kenya had partial, and on some lands, Honorable Speaker, had no ownership documents for 18 parcels of land. Honorable Speaker, I also want to be very particular that there was observation from the submissions to our committee, Honorable Speaker, on delay in availing documents to the auditors. And Honorable Speaker, this is a routine. Most of the agencies, Honorable Speaker, delayed to submit the reports to the auditors. And as we are aware, Honorable Speaker, and being guided by the PFM Act, particularly the Act of 2012 and the regulations therein, Honorable Speaker, especially Section 68, Honorable Speaker, directs that all accounting officers must, Honorable Speaker, submit documents to the auditors. But you find, Honorable Speaker, they were submitting documents late, and at sometimes, Honorable Speaker, they were unable to substantiate as into why they are submitting those documents late. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, my committee felt that it is important to recommend, especially those who have offended the Article 68, that they must always comply, especially the accounting officer. And we suggested that whoever fails to do so, Honorable Speaker, pursuant to that Section 62, subsection 1 of the Public Audit Act, Cap 4 and 2B, should be prosecuted, Honorable Speaker, for the offense pursuant to the same, and particularly Section 62, Part 2 of the Public Audit Act, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what also came into the generality across was the issue of long outstanding receivables. Honorable Speaker, all the 6 agencies have long outstanding receivables. But I want to single out, Honorable Speaker, to move the House to a very long outstanding and very controversial receivable to especially, Honorable Speaker, Communication Authority of Kenya, being Telcom Kenya Limited, Honorable Speaker. In this review, Honorable Speaker, Telcom Kenya owes Communication Authority of Kenya 5,695,935,298. Honorable Speaker, this is as at that time of review of the accounts. That is not the position today, it is more. That came, Honorable Speaker, to $40,79,861 US. Honorable Speaker, this is a huge amount that if we are not, this House, Honorable Speaker, does not put its foot down to interrogate what is going on, to respond to commend and approve what we have recommended, Honorable Speaker, this money might not be receivable to CAK, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there's also the issue on the Kenya Medical Training College, which has an outstanding receivable of 78,672,640 shillings, Honorable Speaker. And this relates to uncollected rent. Honorable Speaker, there is a long outstanding dispute. Trainees, medical trainees from University of Nairobi have rented houses or are given allocated houses at the KMTC in the name of Kenyatta National Hospital, Honorable Speaker. They don't pay the rent to KMTC. The property is owned by KMTC, Honorable Speaker, but they don't pay KMTC the money. They have had various issues, various discussions, both with the ministry and the KMTC and the university, but they've not paid 78,672,640, Honorable Speaker. This in itself, Honorable Speaker, it should be, and we recommended that let that money be paid to KMTC, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the University of Nairobi is taking advantage that the government has proposed not to indulge in legal battle within interministerial legal battle. But that shouldn't be the case, Honorable Speaker. When the debt is due, we want to ask that the University of Nairobi remits their money. Honorable Speaker, we also want to look at the issue of money owed to KEMSA. Honorable Speaker, we know that KEMSA is a supplier of medical commodities to county governments. Honorable Speaker, as at 30 June 2020, the county governments and the Ministry of Health owed KEMSA, Honorable Speaker, to a tune of 2,849,869,466. Honorable Speaker, we all know that KEMSA does not trade in medical supplies. Instead, Honorable Speaker, it's a logistic organization. It only handles goods, medical commodities. Therefore, it's important that the users, that's the Ministry of Health, together with the ministry, the county governments, pay the services of KEMSA to that tune. So it's important, Honorable Speaker, that receivables cutting across these 6 agencies is huge. And if we don't look at how much is owed, Honorable Speaker, it could be an issue that maybe the Departmental Committee on Finance should be looking at this as a debt, Honorable Speaker, in itself. Because when it goes to pending bills, this is likely to be the issue. Honorable Speaker, what do we recommend about that? We are saying that the accounting office, Honorable Speaker, should ensure proper and robust debt collection mechanisms, effective debt management policies, and proper systems for recording the debts. Honorable Speaker, whereas these debts have been depicted, but also they have issues in terms of recording, which we noted and felt is important we put a stand. Honorable Speaker, there's also the issue of long outstanding payables cutting across the 6 issues, where agencies, Honorable Speaker, also owe other agencies amount payable. And Honorable Speaker, we look at the PFM Act Cap 412A, which provides that pending bills from the first form the first charge in the subsequent financial year. But Honorable Speaker, most accounting officers are not enforcing that. They are simply biling the debts, debt in, debt out, and they end up paying, Honorable Speaker, those who are maybe friendly to them or maybe who have spoken more louder than the rest. That shouldn't be the case. The PFM Act puts it that any amount outstanding should form the first charge of the subsequent financial year. This has not been enforced across the 6 agencies, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we look at the issue of delayed interest. Honorable Speaker, we do a budget in this House that the agencies have interest. They send their staff out of the country. They send their staff in various seminars and trainings. But Honorable Speaker, they don't submit the documents. They don't file back the interest on time. But the law is very clear. Within 7 days, upon return from your trip or from a working destination, you should file interest. Across the 6 agencies, Honorable Speaker, there were issues of delay in accountability of interest to the government. That shouldn't be the case. And Honorable Speaker, we felt that the accounting officers, Honorable Speaker, must be held to account and should always at all times ensure that officers surrender interest within the stipulated period of 7 days upon return from the workstation in accordance with sections 93 of the PFM National Government Regulation 2015. Honorable Speaker, there is also the issue of non-compliance with the law, especially when it comes to the issue of the basic salary rule. Honorable Speaker, the 1/3 basic salary rule is no longer being applicable. Many of these 6 organizations, Honorable Speaker, had issues with the 1/3 basic rule, and I want to be very particular. Kenya Medical Training College, it's a vast institution. It cuts across the whole country, but most of its relation in terms of the 1/3 basic salary rule was not applicable. Another agency, Honorable Speaker, that was very clear is the Child Welfare Society of Kenya, whose salary, Honorable Speaker, was an issue, and it was even below the 1/3 of the basic salary against Section 19, subsection 3 of the Employment Act 2007, which requires the total amount of all deductions which may be made by an employer from the wages of his employee at any one time shall not exceed 1/3 of such wages. Honorable Speaker, I now want to ask the House, Honorable Speaker, to allow me to move the individual agency as and how we saw the situation, as and how the agency responded. And I want to move the House, Honorable Speaker, beginning with the Communications Authority of Kenya, especially for the years 2019-2020 and 2020-2023. Honorable Speaker, As I had alluded to in the generalities, the issue of Telkom Kenya came up very clear, and it's an issue which, Honorable Speaker, we must put our foot down as a house and seek that either the engagement comes to an end, and, Honorable Speaker, the relevant authority, being the government of Kenya, moves in so that they can recover this money, or let this House, Honorable Speaker, make a very clear headway to make sure, Honorable Speaker, that this money through the National Treasury is recovered. What came out, Honorable Speaker, that was very clear. The National Treasury, Honorable Speaker, through a letter dated 28th June 2020, committed, Honorable Speaker, to pay on behalf of Telkom Kenya Limited the frequency spectrum of 2,213,077,093. Honorable Speaker, this was on paper. The National Treasury is aware of this engagement. They made an undertaking, Honorable Speaker, but CAK is yet to receive this money up to date. And, Honorable Speaker, what happens is, as we were informed by the DG for CAK, he said that this institution is a security issue, and should they come to an end to enforce the issue of collection of this money in terms of maybe stoppage of the operation of telecom, it might put our country in a security quagmire. That being the case, Honorable Speaker, National Treasury having agreed to pay this money, it's now upon the National Treasury to release that money and let CAK operate as normal. Honorable Speaker, there is also the issue I would want to raise on individual institution, the issue of Kenya Medical Training College. Honorable Speaker, we observed that the Kenya Medical Training College, Honorable Speaker, had an issue when it came to the issue of reconciliations between the two systems, and especially, Honorable Speaker, having acquired a new system to the latter. There was an issue of reconciliation, and, Honorable Speaker, that reconciliation against the regulation number 90, subsection 3 of the Public Finance Management National Government Regulation 2015, which required that, Honorable Speaker, officers must always ensure that any discrepancy in order during the bank reconciliation exercise is investigated immediately and appropriate action taken. Honorable Speaker, the institution delayed to file the reconciliation, but by the time they were coming before the committee, Honorable Speaker, their reconciliations had taken place. So the question is, why did they have to delay, such that by the time they come to the committee, had we delayed to invite them, then the reconciliation would not have taken place immediately, and against the regulation, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there is also the issue, the agency I want to look at, the issue of the Kenya KEMS, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there was a gap in the provision, in the procurement of COVID-19 related stocks, which led to over-procurement, Honorable Speaker, of stocks worth 5,639,656,550, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there was a quick rush. This is an account of 2019, 2020, 2021. There was a rush, Honorable Speaker, that when the pandemic of COVID-19 happened, they had to overstock the institution, Honorable Speaker, to a tune of 5,639,656,550. The then accounting officer, Honorable Speaker, failed to manage the inventory for the purpose of preventing wastage and loss contrary to Section 160, Honorable Speaker, of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, specifically Cap 412C. Honorable Speaker, there was also an observation of an adjustment of stocks, Honorable Speaker, as a consequence of having overstocked the medicines, Honorable Speaker, of 1,680,377,225, Honorable Speaker. This was effected through a journal, particularly, Honorable Speaker, which I would want to be on record, a journal, Honorable Speaker, of KEMSA-JV-1-20-2021 on non-pharmaceutical stocks and medical commodities fund, which could not be traced under the medical commodity fund, implying the entry could be non-existent. Honorable Speaker, when we could go to the journal, the entries of global medical commodity fund, Honorable Speaker, that entry could not be seen. Instead, Honorable Speaker, it was purported to have been a non-medical stocks entry into the books of KEMSA. That alone, Honorable Speaker, depicts that the entries of KEMSA at that time, whereas we are looking at the stock of 5.6 and a misadjustment, Honorable Speaker, of an entry of stocks worth 1.6 billion, it leaves the gap hanging, Honorable Speaker. What does my committee, Honorable Speaker, say about it? We feel, Honorable Speaker, that let this House, upon adoption of this report, the Director General of Public Procurement Regulatory Authority, Honorable Speaker, in collaboration with the Attorney General, to fast-track the amendments of the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Act, CAP 412C, to introduce, Honorable Speaker, a provision under Section 69 to provide for retrospective approvals under prescribed circumstances. Honorable Speaker, the Public Procurement and Regulatory Authority appeared before my committee and made this recommendation that in the current situation, Honorable Speaker, the law does not provide for that retrospective procurement. And that will now give a chance. Today we are talking about Ebola. Last time, Honorable Speaker, we spoke about COVID. Should Ebola come in, Honorable Speaker, we are staring at a similar situation which will again hinder or affect our budgeting or procurement of various stocks and goods and services, Honorable Speaker. Further, Honorable Speaker, the PPRA, Honorable Speaker, suggested to amend the procurement regulations to effectively govern public procurement to the scale and the duration of a pandemic. Honorable Speaker, this document in its proposal was filed with the committee and is the annex in the report so that, Honorable Speaker, we can move and make that proposal and amend so that in future, Honorable Speaker, we don't have such a situation befalling our country. Honorable Speaker, allow me to move the House to the issues canvassed, Honorable Speaker, by Public Benefit Organization Regulatory Authority. Honorable Speaker, this is the formally called the NGO Coordination Council. We observed, Honorable Speaker, an irregularity in board committee meetings and unqualified board members. Honorable Speaker, this organization decided to hold meetings as and when they want. Honorable Speaker, this organization decided not to respect how many meetings shall be held in a particular session of a year. Similarly, Honorable Speaker, the organization picked people or staff from the ministry to come and sit in the board and also called them, Honorable Speaker, as board members, without respecting, Honorable Speaker, who are board members of an organization. If technical people or technical staff appear and come into the board, Honorable Speaker, does not mean that they become board members. Does not mean, Honorable Speaker, that they also qualify to earn allowances. We feel, Honorable Speaker, when Auditor General sends the technical staff to come and sit in our committees, they don't earn allowances from the committees. Instead, they are on duty. So, Honorable Speaker, the board, we observed that the board and its constituent committees were not properly considered, Honorable Speaker, in accordance with Mwongozo Code of Governance regarding the number of membership and the requisite experience, knowledge, and professional requirement, Honorable Speaker. We therefore made a recommendation and especially, Honorable Speaker, reprimanded the then accounting officer and the chairman of the board for failing to convey the deficiency in the composition of the board to the appointing authority. Honorable Speaker, we questioned whether there was any discussion, any issues raised to the appointing authority in terms of position to know whether the board was proper. There was none. And Honorable Speaker, the CEO never felt that it was necessary. In fact, according to him, Honorable Speaker, he felt that was part and parcel of a good board. A situation which, Honorable Speaker, ignorance is no defense in law, and therefore they need to have it to him, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me move the House to the last agency, which is Child Welfare Society of Kenya, especially in the financial years 2022-23 and 23-24. Honorable Speaker, this organization has challenges with budgetary control and performance, especially, Honorable Speaker, where the society, Honorable Speaker, over-collected 22,238,008, which is, Honorable, 2% of the budgeted revenue, which included development project government grant of 14,302,826, not budgeted for, resulting to over-collection of 100%. Honorable Speaker, it's very difficult to see an organization realizing 100% of a collection, which means, Honorable Speaker, this organization simply puts figures, estimates into their budget. They do not have any budgetary control to realize the future financials of the organization. What did we say, Honorable Speaker, about the misbudgeting? We felt, Honorable Speaker, as a committee, that the accounting officer should ensure expenditure within the amount received and at all times that the budgets are realistic. Honorable Speaker, this house is a house of budgets. Therefore, if an organization, Honorable Speaker, earns more A in A and they end up spending on what has not been approved through the structures of parliamentary approval, then, Honorable Speaker, Child Welfare Society became a parliament on its own. They did their own budgets, approved, and Honorable Speaker went ahead to spend that money against, Honorable Speaker, Regulation 44, subsection 2 of the PFM National Government Regulations of 2015. Honorable Speaker, allow me to address the House to the issue of Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital. That, Honorable Speaker, in the financial year 2024-2025, KUTRH, Honorable Speaker, encountered and supported waiver of patient bills. Honorable Speaker, the committee observed that the hospital granted waivers to patients amounting to 139,270,498 without any supporting documents. The waivers had accumulated to the tune, Honorable Speaker, of 669,781,907. Honorable Speaker, it's important that, yes, medical facility can waiver the patient's bills. That is within the mandate, Honorable Speaker. And we also must agree that Kenyans, not all of us, can pay these bills. And should there be any patient requiring waiver, it must be done, Honorable Speaker, within the provisions of the regulation and the necessary approvals within the board, within the organization, especially Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital. Honorable Speaker, what did we say about it? Therefore, we felt that, Honorable Speaker, within 3 months upon adoption of this report, the accounting officer, Honorable Speaker, together with the board, should develop and approve a waiver policy, Honorable Speaker, that outlines the conditions necessary for granting such waivers, who is eligible, the process of identifying, Honorable Speaker, and assessing the needy cases, the documentation required, and the final report by the vetting committee established as per the policy. This should be submitted to the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, existence of such a policy is very important, and I felt, Honorable Speaker, together with my colleagues, that it's not good enough to just waiver a figure. What happens to the difference, Honorable Speaker? Out of 669 million, Honorable Speaker, only 139 was waived. So what happens to the difference? But because of lack of the policy to guide the hospital, Honorable Speaker, on where and how, and on who qualifies for this, makes it difficult. And it also makes it difficult, Honorable Speaker, for the managing director or the DG to run the organization, especially being an institution of such public interest and assistance. With that, Honorable Speaker, allow me, with the great humility, Honorable Speaker, to thank your office, Honorable Speaker, as the Speaker, the office of the clerk, and the office of the clerk, especially through the Directorate of Audit, Honorable Speaker, for the immense time, support in making sure, Honorable Speaker, that this report is generated to this maturity. And Honorable Speaker, the time we took with the Secretariat to write this report, Honorable Speaker, it was immense, well guided by the clerk's office, especially the Director of Audit, Honorable Speaker. It's something that I must appreciate. Allow me also, Honorable Speaker, to appreciate and thank my colleagues who are members of this committee, that to come up with such a report, Honorable Speaker, it took time. When you look at the attachment, Honorable Speaker, to the report, those who have been looking at, Honorable Speaker, the list of shame, for us to have generated that list of those who supplied Kenya Medical Supplies Agents, Honorable Speaker, it took us 2 weeks to look at those reports, so that, Honorable Speaker, when we bring before this House, we bring a list, Honorable Speaker, that is associated with who supplied what commodity during that time, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to appreciate my colleagues and thank them most sincerely for the support until we build this report to its maturity. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move and ask the great member for Daya
to second.
Wainaina, Wainaina. Member for Udaya, give him the mic.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this chance to support this report. Madam Speaker, on the outset, I want to support this report as a member of Public Investment Committee. Madam Speaker, this report, we produced the document, and Madam Speaker, most of those agencies who don't have document for land, we tried to pursue the document, Madam Speaker. And you know, land nowadays in this country is very immutable. Madam Speaker, some of those agents who don't have document of land, some of the land they are occupied by intruders on this land. Madam Speaker, some of the agents have taken more than 10 years without pursuing the document. Madam Speaker, many times the documents that they are chasing, they went ahead to have a litigation because of the people who are occupying those land. Madam Speaker, this land, the people who are in possession in charge of this land, they are supposed, Madam Speaker, to make sure they are getting the document to secure this land. Madam Speaker, some of the officers who are sitting in this land, some of them, they don't have even the document that they were paying land rate and land rent. That means there is nothing they can show they own those land. Madam Speaker, we are staying in an era where many people, they want to sit on land which is government land. And most of the people who are invading land, they are invading land on their government land. So, Madam Speaker, we are trying to pursue those people, to pursue the land, those documents, so that we can be able to secure the land which is government agencies' land. Madam Speaker, if you go to the issue of KEMSA, Madam Speaker, you go to the KEMSA, the people who are pursuing by looking for the medicine of KEMSA. Madam Speaker, medicine, if you go to our rural area, Madam Speaker, many hospitals, we don't have medicine. And you get those people, officers, who are supposed to follow the law and to make sure that medicine, they check their inventory so that they can be able to buy the quantity that is needed. They buy medicine there. Some of them get expired in the store because of lack of making their inventory so that they can be able to know this medicine will expire this time. If you go to the rural areas, our rural areas, we are not getting medicine, Madam Speaker. And some of the medicine, they go and destroy those medicine because of lack of the officers who are supposed to put their inventory in order. Madam Speaker, if you go further, you get an adjustment of 1.6 billion. Madam Speaker, that adjustment, when you go deeper, you don't know, you are not sure whether this adjustment of 1.6 billion, it is through the medicine which is there. So, Madam Speaker, lack of documentation, lack of inventory, this is where we are missing a lot. Madam Speaker, you remember this issue of KEMSA. There is a big issue even today when you talk about KEMSA and the COVID-19. Madam Speaker, if you take the value of 5.6 billion, it's a value, it's medicine which can be able to cover the whole country with the medicine. Today, we are suffering here. This is taxpayers' money, which was taken by officers who are able to know the quantity which is needed for the country, which is needed to serve the country. And that's why those people, officers who are taken in that area, the procurement people who are supposed to be there, they are supposed to know what is needed. Madam Speaker, this is a very big loss which went from the KEMSA. And Madam Speaker, From that, I want to support.
You second.
That's why I second, Madam Speaker.
Very well. Honorable members, allow me then to propose that this House adopts the 8th report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its examination of audited financial statements for the following state corporations laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 12th March 2026. Number 1, Communications Authority of Kenya for the financial years 2019-2020 to 2023-2024. Number 2, Kenya Medical Training College for the financial years 2021-2022 to 2024-2025. Number 3, Kenya Medical Supplies Authority for the financial years 2019-2020 and 2020-2021. Number 4, Public Benefit Organization Regulatory Authority for the financial years 2007-2008 to 2023-2024. Number 5, Child Welfare Society of Kenya for the financial years 2019-2020 to 2023-2024. And finally, Kenya University Teaching Referral Hospital and Research Hospital for the financial years 2020-2021 to 2024-2025. Honorable Oundo, not on this. Honorable Kagushia, on this? No. Makali Mulu?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to start by thanking the committee for this detailed report. I've listened to the chairman as he moved the motion on these various institutions, Honorable Speaker. And there were just about 3 things I want to comment on, which are just very general statements, but which I think is worth mentioning. The first one, Honorable Speaker, is the question of as to whether we are getting value for some of these audited reports. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the timing of these reports, you have the one for public benefit organization going all the way back to 2007, Honorable Speaker, up to 2024. If you look at that report, it's almost about 17 years. It captures 17 years. You look at those others, Honorable Speaker, they were way behind the current year, Honorable Speaker. And I ask myself, a time like this when a report is presented to the House, Honorable Speaker, assuming as a House we adopt all the recommendations and we wanted to take action on those accounting officers who are not able to account for resources, it's very likely, Honorable Speaker, that you find some of them might have retired from the service. Others might have gone to see their maker. On that note, you can't do anything to them. And I think, Honorable Speaker, it's time we start asking ourselves as a House, are we really using the resources following up on these audit reports in the right way? Because for me, I don't think there will be any convenient or convincing reason, Honorable Speaker, why a report should be taking that long before it's presented to the House. And I think this committee has that work to do, Honorable Speaker, because to me it's just like we are doing it as a matter of routine and not adding value to the process. The second matter, Honorable Speaker, is when I listen to the issue of people not surrendering their impress in time. The law is very clear. Impress is not a loan, Honorable Speaker. Impress is not a grant. Impress is money you are given by your employer to go and work. And once you are through with that assignment, Honorable Speaker, you are supposed to come back to the office and say, I took this money, went out there, did the official assignment, Honorable Speaker, and I'm back in the office and this is my expenditures. So in a situation where we are hearing that officers cannot surrender impress, Honorable Speaker, and they are taking a long time before surrendering impress, then, Honorable Speaker, it just says that we are taking the issue of financial management very casually. we are taking the issue of the law very casual, Honorable Speaker. And as a result of that, Honorable Speaker, then, it begs a question, Honorable Speaker, which I was asking earlier. Are we serious as a House, or even in our own financial management as a government? Because when people cannot surrender interest, Honorable Speaker, then, it means that basically they convert that interest to become like a loan, Honorable Speaker. The other thing, Honorable Speaker, is the issue of the long outstanding receivables. Money which is supposed to have been collected, Honorable Speaker, and it is not being collected. When I hear that CCK, that is the Commission on, the Communication Authority of Kenya, CAK, Honorable Speaker, as it sold about 5 billion. It owes 5 billion. KMTC is owed 78 billion, Honorable Speaker. And KEMS about 2 billion. You ask yourself, what are the reasons that they are not able to collect the money? If really it is money they should have collected. And I think this calls for a more serious analysis of the reasons, Honorable Speaker, so that as we move to the future, Honorable Speaker, then we don't just have these reports for the sake of having them. They are tabled in this House. They don't help anybody. They don't help the country. And they don't improve our financial management, Honorable Speaker. So, for me, the last one, Honorable Speaker, which is also very annoying, is the issue of delay of submission of reports, financial statements, Honorable Speaker. Most of these parastatals, because these are institutions with parastatals, Honorable Speaker, they have very qualified accountants. They have what we call finance managers. We call them finance directors, Honorable Speaker. People who are CPAK, others are even FCPAK, Honorable Speaker, what they call the fellowship, Honorable Speaker. And you ask yourself, if you are a qualified accountant, and in this era of automation, why would it be difficult? Why would you face challenges in providing information relating to your accounts? So this is just share, Honorable Speaker. It's a situation where people will say, Utadu, what will you do, even if I don't submit? And I think time has come, Honorable Speaker, when then we need to come out clearly as to what sanctions should be put against these characters, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, it will be a waste of time discussing these reports. And I've seen this problem cutting across all the peak committees. It is also cutting across the PAC, Honorable Speaker. And I think for me, this House is the oversighting House. This House should be supporting the Auditor General matters and enforcement, Honorable Speaker. So in a situation where we take these things very casually, Honorable Speaker, it makes the work of the Auditor General very difficult. Because as a House, we need to stand behind this office and say, if you are not accounting for resources, we are not going to give you more resources. And if possible, we want to see people being taken to court, Honorable Speaker, to answer these important questions. Otherwise, with those my remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support. But we need to act, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Dick Maungu.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity granted that I may also be able to comment on this good report. First and foremost, allow me to appreciate the committee for a job well done and having come up with a report that moves to give value and to add value to our existing governance mechanism, Madam Speaker. However, one issue that is a bit keen to observe, Madam Speaker, is the fact that one of the organizations being reported on today is the Public Benefit Organization Regulatory Authority. And the years in question are from 2007 and 8 all the way to 23-24. I must commend the chair and his team for trying to put it to current, because when we are reporting in the year 2026, and we are reporting, or rather tabling a report for financial year 2007-2008, Madam Speaker, that's quite long ago. And as our members captured, we may find that some recommendations which the committee may have would have been targeting the specific accounting officers and those who are in office then, who maybe by now have retired. So probably it comes out as a challenge as a House. We need to ensure that we add value to the work of the Auditor General by having
the reports looked at pretty fast and tabled in this House, Madam Speaker, and the recommendations thereof can actually be of value addition and can actually be able to help maybe mitigate some of the other negative trends that will occur. That aside, Madam Speaker, I want to say that I've gone through this report, and the chair has actually been able, the committee through the chair, have been able to table a very, very comprehensive report. However, a few issues that I may need to talk about, Madam Speaker, because the issues of concern. One is a matter of ownership of land. The report brings out the fact that we have institutions like the 6 being tabled about the Communication Authority and the others, that we still have issues whereby the ownership documents of land still remains in question, Madam Speaker. We live in a country whereby people have got some funny appetite for public land, whereby if this land is not properly secured, if this land is not properly owned in terms of having the right ownership documents, we find that people are encroaching and being a bit, advancing their selfish interest into acquiring this public land. And therefore, when the chair says that this is a challenge, Madam Speaker, it's important that as a House, we find this as a national issue. Why do I say that? I happen to be the chair of PIC, Education and Government, Madam Speaker. Most of the institutions that appear before me have a challenge with the ownership of land. Including this morning, when we had KU appearing, Madam Speaker, the land issue is a serious matter. And therefore, the recommendations put are quite in order, that it is the high time we may have to direct, maybe the National Commission, the Ministry of Lands, to ensure that every public entity or any public organization, the issue of land is actually taken the issue of land is regularized so that these organizations can properly own the land they sit on. The second issue, Madam Speaker, that I take cognizance of is delay in submission of documents. Madam Speaker, the law is very clear. PFM Act of 2012, Section 82 is very clear about the duty of the accounting officers to submit documents within a specific time. Today is the 1st of July. The financial year ended yesterday. These accounting officers are now under the audit season, whereby the OAG has moved into trying to look at this, Madam Speaker. And you find an accounting officer who has received millions of shillings, which is public money, delays in submitting documents, Madam Speaker. The question is, how therefore can the auditor be able to give assurance? How therefore can the auditor be able to confirm that no public funds were lost? How therefore can the auditor be able to give us some bit of assurance as a country that the public resources we put in these organizations, as the resources are safe, Madam Speaker? And therefore, the issue of delayed submission of documents is an issue, Madam Speaker, that has been flagged off, and to me I say it's an issue that is very important. I believe the law is very clear. The PFM Act is very clear as to what the accounting officers must do. The PFM is very clear as to the kind of measures that can be put in place to ensure these officers are compelled. And therefore, Madam Speaker, as we talk about delay, it's important that we give a warning also to public officers, a caution to these accounting officers that giving documents for audit is not an option. Submitting documents within the right time is not an option, but it's a constitutional requirement, it's a legal requirement that maps yourself to ensure that we account for any resources we get from the public, Madam Speaker. The other third issue that I found a bit important to look at, Madam Speaker, is the issue of accountability of interest. It's a bit crazy that an officer can take interest, move on to execute whatever agenda it is, but fails to surrender interest. Interest is not personal money. This is an advance given to an officer so that he can be able to attend a meeting or attend an assignment on behalf of the organization. The best one can do is within 7 days to submit the records or submit account for the interest so that now the books can be closed. But you find that we have large sums of money. We have huge balances in our books where it talks about unaccounted or unsurrendered interest, Madam Speaker. And therefore, I want to say that the committee has flagged this off, Madam Speaker, and it is clear that in case of issues whereby this audit, this issue has gone far beyond the necessary timelines of 7 days, the officers should actually be surcharged. Let this money be recovered so that we can ensure that public funds are used for the right purpose, public funds are accounted for, and public funds, Madam Speaker, which are quite hard to generate, I ensure that they go in the right direction. With those few remarks, I want to say thank you to the committee and commend the committee for a job well done. Asante sana.
Very well. There being no further interest in this bill, I will call the mover to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to first and foremost thank my colleagues who have put their voice on this report, Honorable Speaker. And especially, I want to commend the voice of Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu, a very seasoned economist, for that view. And Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Honorable Engineer Dick Maungu for looking at the issue of the period. And as you are aware, Honorable Speaker, the issue of timelines was canvassed in our liaison committee, and we are now time-bound. And as you can see, Honorable Speaker, my committee has moved with the speed. We are now reporting accounts to do with 2024-2025. We look forward, Honorable Speaker, that in the very immediate near future, upon conclusion of this year's accounts, we shall now be aligned so that next year, Honorable Speaker, most of the agencies will be having their very current accounts being reviewed and reported to the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to reply.
Very well. And I must commend this committee from liaison that you have done very well to bring up these accounts to date. Allow me, honorable members, therefore, to put the question that this House adopts the 8th report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its examination of audited financial statements of the following state corporations laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 12th March 2026. Number 1, Communications Authority of Kenya for the financial years 2019-2020 to 2023-2024. Number 2, Kenya Medical Training College for the financial years 2021-2022 to 2024-2025. Number 3, and 2020-2021. Number 4, Public Benefit Organization Regulatory Authority for the financial years 2007-2008 to 2023-2024. Number 5, Child Welfare Society of Kenya for the financial years 2019-2020 to 2023-2024. And finally, Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital for the financial years 2020-2021 to 2024-2025. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 16, the County Assembly Services Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 34 of 2023, second reading.
What's your point of order, Majority Leader?
Honorable Speaker, I wanted to beg your indulgence to request that we, since the chair is out on other official business, that we indulge him to be able to move this bill for second reading in another time.
I was headed there. I do not see the chair around, so we will defer to the next appointed time. Next order.
Order number 17, motion. Report of the allegations against the member for Pumula and chairperson of the Public Investments Committee on Governance and Education, the Honorable Chuck Wamboka, MB.
I have the information that the said member is bereaved, and we shall therefore defer this to the next appointed time. Next order. What is your point of order, Majority Leader?
Honorable Speaker, again, I want to beg your indulgence that under order number 18 on the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, as directed by the Speaker and as we requested yesterday, the Committee on Finance is currently sitting up in room number 9 with all the members who have proposed various amendments. And you've seen them walk out to go and do some winnowing on the amendments. And I wish to beg your indulgence that we consider this bill tomorrow.
Majority Leader, I actually have a communication to that effect.
Okay, then, Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether your communication...
Allow me to make the communication.
Okay.
It is to the same effect to your request, but allow me to make the communication so that it is on record. Order members, honorable members, This is a communication number 27 of 2026 on the referral of proposed amendments or to the sovereign wealth. As you may have noticed in the supplementary order paper for this sitting, the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2026, is scheduled for Committee of the Whole House under Order number 18. You may recall that the said bill was also scheduled for consideration in the Committee of the Whole House yesterday, Tuesday 30th June 2026, but I directed the deferment of its consideration to today's afternoon sitting. This was to allow members desirous of amending the bill to file their proposed amendments in accordance with the standing orders. Honourable members, following the deferral, the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning and several members have filed a wide range of proposed amendments to the said bill, and the amendments have been published in the notices to today's order paper. I have reviewed the proposed amendments and noted the diverse effects on the bill. They include money bill implications in terms of Article 114 of the Constitution and the potential of the proposed amendment to unduly expand the scope of the bill in terms of Standing Order 133.5. In the circumstances, honourable members, and in order to ensure smooth consideration of the bill, I am inclined to stay the consideration of the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2026, in the Committee of the Whole House so as to allow further review of the proposed amendments. To this end, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 131, I hereby refer the proposed amendments to the Sovereign Wealth Fund Bill 2026 to a winnowing process before the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. Honourable members, conscious of the fact that the House is proceeding on recess from tomorrow, and so as to facilitate expeditious consideration of this bill, I have allowed the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning to hold a sitting today at 5 p.m. in Committee Room number 9, Main Parliament Buildings, to consider the proposed amendment by honourable members. All members with proposed amendments, including all other members desirous of proposing amendments to the bill, are required to appear before the committee to prosecute their proposals. Honourable members, the committee is urged to pay close attention to the proposed amendments that are subject to the provisions of Article 114 of the Constitution and consult the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury and Planning before making its recommendations on the said amendments. Additionally, the committee is expected to be alive to the provisions of Standing Order 133.5, barring the consideration of proposed amendments that are likely to unduly or unreasonably expand the scope of the bill. Honourable members, in line with these provisions of Standing Order 131, the committee is required to provide an update to the Speaker on the winnowing process by tomorrow, Thursday, 2nd July 2026 at 10 a.m. This will be in the Whole House during tomorrow's afternoon sitting. Consequent to the foregoing, honourable members, the business appearing as item 1 under order number 18 in today's supplementary order paper is hereby stayed. The House is accordingly guided. I thank you. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, and my apologies. I didn't know you had that communication, but it serves the purpose on item number 1 under order number 18. But I also sought your indulgence on order number 18, sub-article 2, on the Kenya Revenue Authority Bill, National Assembly Bill number 28 of 2026, since the chair of the Finance Committee is currently chairing the winnowing process, and we're also considering some other requests from members on amendments, that we also stay this bill until after the recess period. Lastly, Honourable Speaker, I want to request that we reorder that order paper so that we start with the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill, the one sponsored by the Dr. Makali Mulu, who had indicated he had another engagement, and is a bill that he has been really pushing the House Business Committee to finalize with. So we indulge him and start with the Parliamentary Pensions, then we go to the one for the Sports Committee. Thank you.
Majority Leader, your requests are assented to. Therefore, honourable members, the business appearing as 2, the Kenya Revenue Authority Amendment Bill, will be stayed to a later date. And then the committee will be reordered so that we begin with the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill and later the Kenya National Library Service Bill number 20 of 2023.
Order number 18, Committee of the Whole House.
Very well, order members. We are in the Committee of the Whole House on the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2023. Leader, you may approach the table. Very well. Makalimulu, we have agreed that you will do that part which you have just asked. And then now, members, like I said, we are on the Committee of the Whole House on the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2023.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that clause 3 be part of the bill. There are amendments to this one, and therefore let me ask the mover, Kalimul, to proceed and move those amendments.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Chairman, I do propose that clause 3 of the bill be amended as per the order paper, where A of will be amended by inserting the following new paragraph immediately after paragraph D, by deleting the definition of appeals tribunal and substituting therefore the following new definition. Appeals committee means the appeals committee established under section 20. And then B of the clause 3, Honorable Chairman, will be amended by, in paragraph E, by inserting the following new definition of the proper, definition in the proper alphabetical sequence, Honorable Chairman. And what we want to define here is the Director General is captured in the order paper, Honorable Chairman. The justification for this amendment, Honorable Chairman, is define the word term, which is which is used in the bill for purposes of payment of pension, gratuity, and death gratuity. Additionally, defining the Director General for Health as per the Health Act for purposes of constituting a medical board. I submit, Mr. Chairman.
Very well, honorable members, I now propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by the mover, Honorable Makali Mulu. I proceed to put the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Wangwe, did you have amendments on this? Further amendments? On clause 3.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, I do, and I beg to move the amendment as approved, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the amendments be as approved. And Honorable Speaker, these amendments relate to the holders of the office. Oh, yes, commencement date, Honorable Speaker, being
yes,
as per the order paper, Honorable Speaker, being upon the publication in the Gazette immediately after the expression 2023.
Very well. I proceed to propose the question that clause 3 be amended as proposed by Honorable Wangwe. Honorable members, I proceed to put the question that clause 3 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
The amendments. I propose the question that clause 4 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, the amendment we are proposing here is deletion of clause 4, and we are deleting to remove the option of gratuity or pension. The bill now requires that a first-timer MP is eligible for gratuity, but on a second term, the MP may elect to defund the gratuity or become eligible for pension. This is in line with the advice of the CRC, Honorable Chairman. So what we have done, Honorable Chairman, initially we had proposed that you could choose, but now we are saying we don't allow second-termers to choose a gratuity. When you come here as a second-termer, you become pensionable. This is very important when MPs leave the House, Honorable Speaker, when they retire. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the mover. Very well, I proceed to put the question that clause 4 be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 4 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Mover.
Yeah, we are proposing deletion of clause 5, Honorable Speaker, because clause 5 was providing details for clause 4, which you have already deleted. So it's just a consequence of deletion of clause 4 that now we have to delete clause 5. which was providing the option of either gratuity or pension. I submit.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the mover. Honorable members, I proceed to put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 5 be deleted as be deleted. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 6 and 7.
I propose the question that clause 6 and 7 be part of the bill. Honorable members, there are no amendments to these two, and therefore I proceed to put the question that clause 6 and clause 7 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, clause 8, we are making amendments by deleting subsection 2, and in subsection 4 by deleting also subsection 2. And the justification for this, Honorable Chairman, is what I said earlier, that now we have removed the option for gratuity for second-term MPs, where we need to amend. And then the second part of it, Honorable Chairman, is further to prescribe the option of refunding gratuity paid in the first term. The amendment also extends a period for refund from 15 months to 45 months, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, the current one was already proposing that you refund immediately, but now we are extending now the period for refund to 45 months at the agreed interest rate, Honorable Speaker. So this is better for the members who will be coming to a second term after a break. I submit.
I propose the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the mover. I now put the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 8 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Honorable members, there are no amendments to these ones, and therefore I proceed to put the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 11 and 12. Clause 10.
I propose the question that clause 10 be part of the bill. There are amendments to this one. Mover.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, we are proposing an amendment to this as captured in the order paper. And the justification is that we want to provide for payment of pension where a member is certified to be unwell, even if they are less than 45 years. The current situation, Honorable Chairman, is you can't access your pension before you hit the age of 45. But we are saying in a situation where you have a medical case which has been certified by the Director General for Medical Services, then you can access your pension earlier, even if you are younger than 45 years. I submit, Honorable Chairman.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the mover. I proceed to put the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 10 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, before I proceed to clause 11, let me acknowledge the presence and in the public gallery this afternoon
of Yakarengo Secondary School from Mathioya, Murang'a County, and also SCK Moi Girls School, Kimilili, Bungoma County. Welcome to the chamber, and on behalf of all the members, we welcome you. We proceed.
Clause 11 and 12.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 11 and 12 be part of the bill. There are no amendments to this one. Honorable members, I proceed to put the question that clause 11 and 12 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I propose the question that clause 13 be part of the bill. Mover.
Thank you. We are proposing that clause 13 be amended as per the order paper, Mr. Chairman. And what we are deleting is that the section is clause 13A. And the justification for this deletion is clause 13A was proposing transfer of administration of members' pension to parliamentary commission. But after our consultation, we have agreed that it is proposed that the same should remain with the National Treasury so that they provide the funds. So we are reverting to the earlier situation where the National Treasury will be doing the administrative work, but we have agreed, Honorable Chairman, that just as they do with the military, there might be need to create a standalone desk for members of Parliament and the Parliamentary Service Commission. I submit.
I propose the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed. I now put the question that clause 13 be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 13 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that clause 14 be part of the bill. Mover.
Yes, I do propose that clause 14 be amended as per the order paper. And basically what we have done, Mr. Chairman, is that now we have what to call the management committee, which will be overseeing the issue of pensions internally. And what we have done is we are now amending to bring on board the Senate. The original bill was not appreciating the fact that Parliament has two chambers. So now we are bringing the representation of the Senate in this management committee. I submit.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by the mover. I proceed to put the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 14 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 15.
I propose the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. Mover.
I do propose that clause 15 be amended as captured in the order paper, Mr. Chairman. The first issue is we are rewarding or renaming what we used to call the appeals tribunal to what we are calling now the appeals committee. And just as I said earlier, to accommodate Senate into that committee, then we have amended. So 2 areas, we are changing the name from the appeals tribunal to appeals committee, and then we include representation of the Senate, so that the committee becomes complete, because we have 2 chambers of the House. I submit.
I propose the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed by the mover. I proceed to put the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I proceed to put the question that clause 15 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as without opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as with contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 16.
I propose the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. Mover.
Mr. Chairman, I'll be proposing that we retain clause 16 as it is. So instead of the deletion, we'll retain it. And what we've done in clause 16, Mr. Chairman, is that it is using the whole terminology we used to have control and outer general. So it was a cleaning exercise. I think this was an oversight. So we retain 16 as it is. I'm making further amendment that we don't delete 16. We retain as it is. Because it's just cleaning where we now have Auditor General and we have Controller of Budget. Those two offices, which will be overseeing the function of this fund.
Honorable Makali Mulu, in the order paper it looked like you are deleting this clause. But what are you saying now? Could you proceed and be clear?
I'm saying, in the order paper we had proposed a deletion, but I want to make a further amendment where instead of deleting, you retain the clause as it is in the order paper. Yeah, I dropped the deletion because what we had done in clause 16 was just now, it was a cleaning exercise. If you look at the original bill, the original act, it talks about the Auditor General. The name of it used to be called what? The Office of the Auditor General. But now with the new constitution, we have the Office of the Auditor General and we have Control of Budget. Those are two different offices. So that it was that separation in terms of explanation. So I dropped my amendment so that we retain the original.
Very well. Honorable members, I'll proceed now to take clause 16. I propose the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. And honorable members, Honorable Makali having dropped that amendment, it means there's no amendment to that particular clause. I therefore proceed to put the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 17.
I propose the question that clause 17 be part of the bill. Mover.
I do propose that clause 17 be amended as per the order paper. What we've done is, the original act was talking about Parliamentary Service Commission being in charge of the audit, the issues of pension. But now that we have created a committee, we are now replacing PSC with the words a committee, management committee, so that it becomes easy in terms of operational issues. I submit.
I propose the question that clause 17 be amended as proposed by the mover. Honorable members, I proceed to put the question that clause 17 be amended as proposed. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I now put the question that clause 17 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 18.
I propose the question that clause 18 be part of the bill. Mover.
Yeah, I do propose that clause 18 be deleted as per the order paper. And this is the justification, Mr. Chairman, is that initially we wanted to move this administration of this pension to the Parliamentary Service Commission. But after discussion and consultation, we agreed that we push it back to the National Treasury. So we are deleting this because now it will still be administered by the National Treasury. I submit.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clause 18 be amended as proposed by the mover. I now put the question that clause 18 be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 18 be deleted. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clauses. New clause 9A.
Honorable members, I call the mover for second reading of clause 9A. New clause 9A.
Honorable Chairman, I do propose that the bill now will get a new clause 9A. This new clause 9A, Honorable Chairman, is it will have this section. This section applies to persons who are former members of parliament under section 8.
Honorable Makali, you will need to...
Now to read as it is.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, for that guidance. That the bill be amended by inserting the following new clause immediately after clause 9, clause 9A. The Principal Act is amended by inserting the following new section immediately after section 8. 8A1. This section applies to persons who are former members of parliament under section 8 and had started receiving pension but were subsequently re-elected to parliament for another term. 2. Where a member of parliament is re-elected to parliament and any pension previously payable to that member ceased by reason of such a re-election, the pension payable to that member upon retirement in respect of the new period of service shall be subject to an adjustment at the rate of 2.5% per annum for each year of the member's prior recognizable service, provided that the total cumulative period shall not exceed 4 terms of parliament.
Honorable it's okay, Chairman, Honorable Makali, but what we really need you to do is simply to say that that new clause 9A be now read a second time.
Yeah, so that new clause 9A be now read a second time.
Proceed.
Now, Mr. Honorable Chairman, what we have done is that we have some of our colleagues who have been in this parliament for many terms, but with the breaks in between. So if you serve 2 terms and you become pensionable, Honorable Chairman, and you go out there and after another 10 years you come back, I have in mind somebody like Honorable Munyi, you realize that when you come back, you only get pension for 2 terms, the last 2 terms. So to acknowledge and appreciate the fact that they served another term of 2 terms before coming back to parliament, we were in consultation with an actuarial firm, which actually worked a formula so that we appreciate that those members served in total 4 terms as opposed to the 2 where they are getting pension. And that is to accommodate the fact that of the earlier service of 2 terms, Honorable Chairman. So there are not very many of them, but we thought it would be very unfair if we don't really factor in the fact that they served in total of 4 terms and not 2 terms. So this new clause is to take care of that kind of scenario. And I think it's just for those who have served in the past, because into the future, this is not likely to happen now that we'll have factored into the pension law. So basically, it's to make sure that there is fairness in whatever pension our members are earning. I propose this new clause, Honorable Chairman.
Thank you. You have done very well. I now propose the question that the new clause 9A be now read a second time. I hear somebody has something. Who is this who has something? Yes, leader.
Thank you. I stand to support the Honorable Makali Mulu on this. You know, we have had situations, I think this came to the fore when we were training members in Mombasa during the induction of the 13th Parliament. And there are some members who had come in Parliament, they had served 1 term, then they took a break, then they were elected. And that became a very interesting. So what happens to this person? He's serving 2 terms but broken. And therefore, when it comes to issues of pension becomes an issue. Then you have also another issue which I think is being cured here. I have served 2 terms, I'm getting pension, but I took a break. I'm now serving a 3rd term, but there's a break in between. So what happens? Do I continue to receive pension for these 2? And do you count the 3rd one as 1? And therefore may not count as pension? And therefore, I think trying to realign that is very, very important. I take cognizance of our member Gonzirai, you know, who has served, I think, 5 terms now, but there's a break in each of the term, and other members who have had the same. So I support.
Honourable members, I now put the question that clause 9A be now read a second time. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now propose the question that clause 9A be part of the bill. I proceed to put the question that clause 9A be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 12, new clause 12A.
I call upon the mover to move for the second reading of clause 12A.
Honorable Chairman, I move that new clause 12A be part of the
Be now read a second time.
or be read a second time.
Very well.
I move that the bill be amended by inserting the following new clause immediately after clause 12. That is, the principal act is amended by deleting section 15. The provision for serious misconduct, contrary to the provisions of the Parliamentary Powers and Privilege Act, Mr. Chairman. So, what this clause proposes, Mr. Chairman, is that we delete that section so that we don't have some members being unfairly handled by the inclusion of that clause in the bill. I submit.
I propose the question that the new clause 12A be now read a second time. I proceed to put the question that the new clause 12A be now read a second time. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 12A be part of the bill. Honorable members, I proceed to put the question that the new clause 12A be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 15A.
I call upon the mover to move the new clause 15A. Honorable Wangwe, not the mover. This one is being done by Honorable Wangwe. Mover, you may take a break.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that new clause 15A be read a second time. And Honorable Speaker, it is that the bill be amended by inserting the new clause 15A immediately after clause 15. Rationale, Honorable Speaker, being to prescribe benefits for retired holders of the office under Article 108 of the Constitution who served for at least 18 consecutive calendar months within a term of Parliament. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Chair.
I propose the question that the new clause 15A be now read a second time. I proceed to put the question that the new clause 15A be now read a second time. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 15A be part of the bill. I proceed to put the question that the new clause 15A be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New clause 18A.
Mover with Honorable Wangwe to move second reading of new clause 18A.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that new clause 18A be read a second time. And Honorable Speaker, move that also the bill be amended by inserting the new clause immediately after clause 18 and to prescribe the additional benefits for the holders of the office. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Chair. Thank you.
I propose the question that the new clause 18A be now read a second time. I now put the question that the new clause 18A be now read a second time. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new clause 18A be part of the bill. Honorable members, I proceed to put the question that the new clause 18A be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be part of the bill. I now put the question that the title be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. And mover, it's like there's an amendment on this one. I don't know, is it by the mover or by Wangwe? Honorable Wangwe. Honorable Wangwe, you have a mic. It's not working. Please give Honorable
Thank you.
Wangwe.
This one's working. I beg to move that clause 1 of the bill be amended by inserting the words "and shall commence upon publication in the Gazette immediately after the expression 2023.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 1 be amended as proposed by Honorable Wangwe. I now put the question that clause 1 be amended as proposed. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 1 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Very well, honorable members, we are done with that bit, and therefore I call the mover to move reporting. Yes. Honorable Makali Mulu.
Honorable Chairman, the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2023, and this approval thereof with amendments.
Very well. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Very well, honorable members. Still in the Committee of the Whole House, we now move to the procedure. No, we move to the Kenya National Library Services Bill, National Assembly Bill number 20 of 2023.
Clauses 3 and 4.
I propose the question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill. Honorable members, there are no amendments on these two, and therefore I proceed to put the question that clauses 3 and 4 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that clause 5 be part of the bill. Mover. Chairman Sports.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that clause 5 of the bill be amended as it appears in the order paper. The justification, the amendment seeks to clearly spell out the role of the national government in relation to library services, so as to avoid duplication and conflict of mandates between the national and county governments. These functions are aligned with legal notice number 142 of 2019, which provides for the delineation of functions between the national government and the county governments in relation to library services.
Very well, Chair. I now propose the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I now put the question that clause 5 be amended as proposed. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 5 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that clause 6 be part of the bill. Chair.
I beg to move that clause 6 of the bill be amended as it appears in the order paper. A justification, the amendment seeks to provide that the Director General shall be an ex officio member of the board to allow for the Director General to sit in the board meetings and to implement the decisions of the board.
I propose the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 6 be amended as proposed. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 6 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that clause 7 be part of the bill. Mover.
I beg to move that clause 7 of the bill be amended as it appears in the order paper. The amendment seeks to ensure that for a person to be eligible for appointment as the chairperson or a member of the board, the person must possess a minimum of a bachelor's degree. The amendment also provides that the years of experience of management level shall be 5 years in the case of the chairperson and 3 years in the case of a member of the board.
Honourable members, I propose the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 7 be amended as proposed. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 7 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that clause 8 be part of the bill. Mover.
The amendment seeks to eliminate the ambiguity that may arise in the interpretation of the provisions of a failure to meet tax and other statutory obligations as disqualification from membership to the board.
I propose the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed by the chair. Yes. Oh, yes. I therefore proceed to put the question that clause 8 be amended as proposed. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And now put the question that clause 8 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Honourable members, there are no amendments on this one, and I therefore proceed to put the question that clause 9 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause.
Move that clause 10 of the bill be amended as it appears in the order paper. The amendment seeks to ensure that vacation from office of the chairperson or a member of the board on account of a criminal offense shall only occur where the person is convicted of a felony that does not allow the option of payment of a fine.
I propose the question that clause 9. No, I'll take it again. I propose the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 10 be amended as proposed. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 10 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 11, 12, and 13.
I propose the question that clauses 11, 12, and 13 be part of the bill. Honourable members, no amendments to this one. I proceed to put the question that clauses 11, 12, and 13 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that clause 14 be part of the bill. Chair.
I beg to move that clause 14 of the bill be amended as it appears in the order paper. The amendment seeks to specifically provide that the board members shall be paid such a remuneration or allowances as determined by the Cabinet Secretary in consultation with the Salaries and the Remuneration Commission.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that clause 14 be amended as proposed. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 14 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 15.
I propose the question that clause 15 be part of the bill. Chair.
I beg to move that clause 15 of the bill be amended as it appears in the order paper. The amendment seeks to provide with clarity that Director General shall be eligible for reappointment for one further term of 3 years, as well as to provide for a professional qualification of a minimum of a master's degree and at least 10 years professional experience with 5 years at a senior management level.
Very well. I propose the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 15 be amended as proposed. Will as many as without opinion say aye. Will as many as contrary opinion of the bill. Will as many as without opinion say aye. Will as many as contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clauses 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clauses 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28 be part of the bill. Honorable members, all these clauses don't have any amendments. And therefore, I proceed to put the question that clauses 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28 be part of the bill. Will as many of our opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 29.
I propose the question that clause 29 be part of the bill. Chair, there's an amendment in this one.
I beg to move that clause 29 of the bill be amended as it appears in the order paper. The amendment seeks to ensure that the responsibility of keeping the seal of the board shall lie with the corporation secretary in line with the recommendations of the Mongozo Code of Governance for state corporations.
I propose the question that clause 29 be amended as proposed by the chair. I now put the question that clause 29 be amended as proposed. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that clause 29 be as amended be part of the bill. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clauses 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41.
Honorable members, I propose the question that clauses 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and clause 41 be part of the bill. Honorable members, I alert the House that there are no amendments to all these clauses and proceed to put the question that clauses 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 and 41 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
First schedule.
I propose the question. I propose the question that the schedule be the schedule of the bill. Mover.
I beg to move that the first schedule to the bill be amended as it appears in the order paper. The amendment seeks to ensure that the responsibility of keeping board minutes shall lie with the corporation secretary in line with the recommendations of the Mongozo Code of Governance for state corporations.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the first schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable members, I now put the question that the first schedule be amended as proposed. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that the first schedule as amended be the schedule of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Second schedule.
I propose the question that the second schedule be the schedule of the bill. Honorable members, there are no amendments on the second schedule. I therefore proceed to put the question that the second schedule be the schedule of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Third schedule.
I propose the question that the third schedule be the schedule of the bill. Again, honorable members, there are no amendments. I proceed to put the question that the third schedule be the schedule of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Long title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. Is there an amendment, Chair? Proceed to move your amendment.
I beg to move that long title to the bill be amended as it appears in the order paper. The amendment seeks to expressly provide that the main object of the bill is to give effect to the provisions of Article 11(2)(a) of the Constitution, which obligates the state to promote all forms of national and cultural expression through, among others, literature and libraries.
Honorable members, I propose the question that the long title be amended as proposed by the chair. Honorable members, I now put the question that the long title be amended as proposed. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question. The long title as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. There are no amendments to this one. I proceed to put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Again, we have come to the end of this one, and therefore I call upon the mover to move the reporting.
Honorable Chair, I beg to move that the committee to report to the House its considerations of the Kenya National Library Service Bill, National Bill number 20 of 2023, and its approval, therefore, with amendments.
Honorable members, I put the question, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the National Library Service Bill, National Assembly Bill number 20 of 2023, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Honorable members, Mr. Speaker,
So, honorable members, we shall begin with the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2023, and I call upon the chairperson to report to the House. Chairperson.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2023, and approved the same with amendments.
Mover. Honorable Makali Mulu.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee in the said report, and I request Honorable Rindikri to second the motion for agreement with the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Rindikri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second.
Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover to move the third reading.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill of number 5 of 2023, be now read at that time, and I also request Honorable Ridikri to second.
Honorable Ridikri. I think that's the English version of your name.
The correct pronunciation is Rendikili and traditional is Rendigiri. So, Mr. Speaker, I second.
Very well, honorable members. I propose the question, which is that the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2023, be now read a third time. I proceed to put the question, which is that the Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 5 of 2023, be now read a third time. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Parliamentary Pensions Act and for connected purposes.
Very well. Yes. We are actually moving to the second one. You miss the space to speak.
I miss the space.
On this one. So on this particular one, please.
I just wanted to appreciate the members and the long journey we have walked.
Because you have been you have had a long journey with this bill. Let me give you a chance to speak. Proceed, Honorable Makalimo.
Honorable Speaker.
Next mic, on your left.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, please switch off all the other mics. Try that one we see.
You're everywhere. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I really appreciate this opportunity. I was seeking for your indulgence, bearing in mind we've really walked a long journey in this bill. So I want to appreciate the honorable members and also single out two of my colleagues who are not in the House. That is the Governor Taita Taveta and Honorable Dawood, the member for, is it in Mendi Central? Mendi North. Because these members, Honorable Speaker, we have worked together to make this bill become a reality. I also want to appreciate the former members of Parliament who served different times and they had breaks. The likes of Honorable Wamunyinyi, those who actually who have also been pushing and trying to see that this bill can become a reality so that they get their fair share of the pension. And I also want to thank the Speaker and the leadership of the House for facilitating also this bill, because we have discussed this bill in our annual meetings. So when I see it getting to this level, I must say thank you to all the stakeholders who are part of this bill. Thank you.
Very well, Honorable Makali. It's been a hurdle to travel for you. I'm sure you inherited this bill from the governor. Sometimes back, having been a religious follower of the House, I can confidently tell you that. And we want to thank the House leadership for having allowed that even when the session comes to its end, a member can adopt a bill that was already being moved by a previous member. Honorable members, let's move to the next bill, which is the Kenya National Library Service Bill, National Assembly Bill number 20 of 2023. And I call upon the chairperson to report to the House.
Give me the mic, okay. The Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the House do agree with the committee. No. I beg to, all right, Speaker. I beg to report that the Committee of the whole House has considered the Kenya National Library Services Bill, National Assembly Bill number 20 of 2023, and approved the same with amendments.
Mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that House do agree with the committee in the said report. I also request Honorable Irene Mayaka to second.
Honorable
Irene Mayaka to second.
And Honorable Irene Mayaka loves sports. I'm sure she's been watching all the World Cup matches. Proceed, Honorable Irene.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second, and you're very right. I've been watching.
Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the House do agree with the committee in the said report. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover, move the third reading.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Kenya National Library Service Bill, National Assembly Bill number 20 of 2023, be now read at that time. I also still request Honorable Irene Mayaka to second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I second.
Honorable members, I propose the question, which is that the Kenya National Library Service Bill, National Assembly Bill number 20 of 2023, be now read at that time. I proceed to put the question, which is that the Kenya National Library Service Bill, National Assembly Bill number 20 of 2023, be now read a second time. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to establish the Kenya National Library Service, to provide for the management of the Kenya National Library Service and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 19, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2022, second reading.
Where is it? I don't have it. Yes, Honorable Lekuton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2022, be now read a second time. Honorable Speaker, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2022, was read a first time in the National Assembly on June 27, 2023, and was thereafter referred to the National Assembly Committee on Powers and Privileges for consideration and reporting to the House. Honorable Speaker, the bill, which is sponsored by Senator Danson Mungatana MP, seeks to place a specific obligation on officials of the Executive, Constitutional Commission, and independent offices to comply with the requirements to give feedback on Parliament's resolution. Honorable Speaker, the bill provides a structured mechanism through which the Executive, Constitutional Commissions, and independent offices are required to give greater consideration to the issues raised and the recommendations made by Parliament. Honorable Speaker, the bill further seeks to amend Section 7 and delete Section 11 of the Parliamentary Service Powers and Privileges Act in order to comply with the decision of the High Court in the Apollo Mboya versus Attorney General and 2 others of 2018. Honorable Speaker, Clause 2 of the bill seeks to amend Section 7 of the Act relating to service of civil processes by refining the process more clearly with regard to parliamentary precincts, and for clarity, the clause also replaces the words either one or both houses with a reference to be a house of parliament. Honorable Speaker, Clause 3 of the bill seeks to delete Section 11 of the Act, which currently provides that no proceedings or decisions of Parliament or the Committee of Powers and Privileges acting in accordance with the Act are to be questioned in any court. This is pursuant to the judicial declaration on this particular section. Honorable Speaker, Clause 4 of the bill seeks to instill accuracy in the numbering of clauses following the deletion of Section 11 of the Principal Act. Honorable Speaker, Clause 5 of the bill proposes the insertion of a new part in the Act to impose an obligation on responsible officers to report to Parliament on parliamentary decisions and specifies the procedure for submission of reports on action taken on parliamentary decisions. Honorable Speaker, in the 2018 landmark decision for Apollo Mboya versus Attorney General and 2 others, which was petition 472 of 2017, the High Court of Kenya declared Section 7 and 11 of the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act 2017 unconstitutional, null, and void. The court ruled that these sections acted outside clauses, meaning they unlawfully shielded Parliament and its committees from being questioned by the courts and unjustifiably limited the public's constitutional rights to access justice. The bill, therefore, seeks to remedy the acts, Honorable Speaker, in line with the judicial declaration. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to its mandates under Standing Orders number 127, the National Assembly Committee on Powers and Privileges undertook the requisite public participation exercise and invited members of the public as well as various stakeholders to submit their memoranda on the bill. Honorable Speaker, following several consultations and consideration with the stakeholders, including the Office of Attorney General, the Law Society of Kenya, and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the committee recommends deletion of Clause 5 of the bill. Clause 5 of the bill, Honorable Speaker, proposes that insertion of a new part 6A in the Act, which deals with how the Executive Constitutional Commission and independent officers should deal with the reports on parliamentary resolutions. The committee is of the view that this is a matter that should be addressed through the standing orders. Honorable Speaker, it is worth noting that the National Assembly has established the Committee on Implementation under Standing Order 209. The mandate of the committee is exposed under Standing Order number 209, Section 2 as follows. The committee shall scrutinize the resolution of the House, including adopted members' reports, petitions, and the undertaking given by the National Executive, and examine A, whether or not such decisions and undertaking have been implemented and where implemented, the extent to which they have been implemented, and whether such implementation has taken place within the minimum time necessary, and whether or not legislation passed by the House has been operationalized, and where operationalization, the extent to which such operationalization has taken place within the minimum time necessary. The implication of this is that National Assembly already has a system of implementing or following up on resolutions, Mr. Speaker, which has so far been effective without legislative intervention, and thus the proposal for deletion. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, I urge members to read the report on the bill in order to fully appreciate and enrich the debate. Secondly, as a committee, we will be moving amendments during the Committee of the Whole House on the bill to delete Clause 5 of the bill for reasons stated above, and the long title as a consequential amendment thereto. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move and call upon the Honorable Wanyama Wabiwe West to second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Wanyama. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is a very good bill for this House, and I want to take this opportunity to second the bill. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2022, be now read a second time. Did I see interest from Honorable Makalimulu?
No.
Very well. There being no any further interest in this particular one, this particular bill, I ask the mover to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to thank you and the members that you've taken into consideration and listened well to this amendment. And I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Okay, very well. Next order. We shall deal with the rest of the business later. Next order.
Order number 20, motion, report of the Kenya delegation to the 151st Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, and related meetings.
Leader of delegation. Very well, honorable members. The leader of this delegation is one of the members who is attending a meeting in room 9, and therefore we want to defer this business to the next session. Next order.
Order number 21, motion, second report on the status of reports on petitions and resolutions.
Chairperson, Committee on Implementation. Again, honorable members, the chairperson of this committee had indicated that would want this done in the next session, and therefore we defer the same to the next session. Next order.
Order number 22, motion, consideration of a petition regarding the proposal to amend the Consumer Protection Act.
Chairperson, Public Petitions Committee. Again, honorable members, this one is deferred to the next session. Next order.
Order number 23, motion, report on the audited financial statements of selected state corporations in the roads and transport sector.
Chairperson, Public Investment Committee on Commercial Affairs and Energy. Again, this member had requested for the same in terms of deferring this particular matter to the next session, and permission is therefore granted. Next order.
Order number 24, the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bill number 30 of 2024, second reading.
Honorable Irene Mayaka. She's not in the House, and therefore the matter is deferred to the next session. Next order.
Order number 25, the Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 51 of 2024, second reading, resumption of debate.
Majority Leader. Honorable members, the Majority Leader equally had business elsewhere and had requested that we defer this to the next session. Next order.
Order number 26, the Competition Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2026, second reading, resumption of debate.
Honorable members, this is one of the bills that we had been instructed earlier that had been referred to the next session. Honorable members, and we may be upstanding. Honorable members, and the time being 18:12 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Thursday, 2nd July 2026 at 2:30 p.m.